this Fall Friday for football. We're back out in Eldridge, where the North Scott Lancers have come out to a surprising 3-0 start and grabbed a top spot in the top 10 in the Iowa rankings. Dan Birch along with Cy Robinson. We were out here a few weeks ago, saw the beginning of this where they took out a tough North team who won their opening week, and Coach Schrader really has North Scott on a roll, ranked number 9.
We're in for a battle tonight. It's unbelievable what we're going to see here tonight. We got the third-ranked Assumption versus 9th-ranked North Scott Lancers. We got contrasting styles. We got a coach at Assumption that's been there for 6 years, and all he's done is win. And we got a coach at North Scott who has not had a winning season here. All of a sudden, he's 3-0, and they're going to get at it tonight. We're in for a good one.
Both clubs 3-0, not only ranked in the state number 3 and number 9, the top MAC teams, they're also the final 2 remaining teams in the MAC, so that puts up a good point. Also, you mentioned the coach at Assumption who's been there a while, Kaz Merrick. Now, generally, he likes to run the ball. He's the one who comes at people, wears them down with a great offensive line play. But he's going to see a little mirror image of himself in the Lancers.
I think so, too. Both teams are running teams, and Green showed some real effort toward throwing the football last week and did a much better job. So if they can get their throwing game together a little bit, they're going to be real tough.
Well, Cy and I have both seen North Scott twice and Assumption twice. Both wins. Somebody's going to come away we won't say loser, a non-victor tonight. Both clubs 3-0. You're going to see it all on Cox Communications Channel 38 from Eldridge. So we are set. Once again, the last 2 remaining teams. Below them in the MAC standings are Bettendorf at 2-1, who both these clubs will meet in the next few weeks, and Burlington, kind of a surprise 2-1, but maybe playing a few of the weaker teams in the MAC. We are set for the kickoff from Eldridge, Iowa. Cox Communications Channel 38. The North Scott Lancers kicking off to the Assumptionites. Both clubs undefeated. They get kind of a squib kick to the right sidelines, keep it away from Forbes. Turning it up down the right sidelines is Assumption. They'll take it out on about the 33-yard line.
Yeah, they did a good job of kicking the ball away from Matt Forbes that time, and I'm sure that's what they wanted to do.
They'll spot it, before the 30, they'll spot it about the 26, 27-yard line down. It'll be 1st and 10 from the right hash for Assumption. Coach Mark Kazmarek's troops coming out. McGraw will be your quarterback. Pullman, 32, handles most of the rushing chores. They'll give to the fullback. He'll go right off tackle, break a tackle, get wrapped up by the big North Scott defensive line.
That time, Dan, Assumption come right out on a 1-back offense, and they got big John Oxendine over the ball at center tonight. They brought size in on size because North Scott has a 335-pound nose guard. So
Joe Bitterman,
that's big on big.
Very big on big. Joe Bitterman was the ball carrier, picked up about a yard. 2nd and 9. Ball spotted more at midfield. Oxendine, the center, breaks out. McGraw comes behind him. They're back to the I set. Pullman is the tailback, motion this way, left to right. He'll spin, McGraw will throw. He's got an open man, and he catches it, but the knee was down. He'll pick up a couple yards. He'll bring up a 3rd and about 3 situation.
Just a quick 3-step drop by McGraw, and he just drilled it over to Forbes, and it's thrown low, and Forbes is on his knees to catch the ball, and that's the gain they got out of it.
Well, that's what, if you're North Scott, you're going to be happy with that. Forbes got the pickup, but you
very
don't
happy.
have to worry about wrapping him up. So a big play early, 3rd and 3. Ball spotted about the 35-yard line. Assumption on their own side, right hash. Here comes the back in motion to give us to the fullback. Bitterman will get near a 1st down. I think he's going to be a little bit short. We'll see where the spot is.
Just kind of a cloud of dust type play, the old Woody Hayes style there, and we'll see what they come up with here.
Bring up 4th and about maybe a foot.
Let's see what their strategy is here. I don't think if that's not a 4th, it's not a 1st down, I think they're going to have to punt this ball.
We'll see. I think it's a little bit short, but it's hard to see once again when you're on an angle. We're spotted basically almost 50-yard line for us. It's a pretty good spot. We'll see where it's at. It's going to be
inch short.
Oh, come on. Just a inch. An inch or 2 tops.
Okay, what are they going to do here, Coach?
We'll
you going to go for it?
I think Kazmarek will go for it. You said you'll see him punt. It doesn't look that way. We are seated behind the Assumption sideline, so we're getting the same angle you are. So 4th and an inch, as you said, Cy.
Right.
Here comes the big play. Look for McGraw perhaps on a quarterback sneak. Split backs. McGraw under center. He'll give the Bitterman to fullback. He'll blast through and get nailed, but they should give him forward progress. We'll see where they spot it.
I think they got it by a yard.
To the forward progress will get him, but I'll tell you what, give North Scott's defense credit. They really came in there flying.
Did a nice job there. Assumption sent the big DeAndre Harris in at the tackle, and they just wanted big on big again, and they rooted him out for the first down.
So 4 plays of first down. It wasn't the prettiest 10 yards you're going to see, but they moved the chains and keep the clock going, and that's the type of ball game both coaches are looking for. Oxendine out of center. McGraw is back there in midfield. Here it comes. Spotted 35. The fake. It's McGraw running left. He's got an open man. He hit Bitterman. Excuse me, that's Bush. He's open and past midfield. Up around midfield. They'll spot at about the 48-yard line and give themselves another first down. Move the chains.
Nice play there. They just sent a lot of action to the left side with a fullback and a halfback, and wound up sending a wingback out in the flat, and he's wide open.
Yeah, Bush was the wingback. You'll see him come in motion, kind of a decoy. They lull you to sleep with the decoy in motion. You think he's not doing anything, but then all of a sudden he's open. Forbes breaks to the right hash. Ball on the left side. 1st and 10 on the 48-yard line, just short of midfield. Second first down for Assumption. McGraw. He'll give to Pullman. He'll go off right side. Break one tackle. Spin still on his feet and diving for 4 more yards. Set up Pullman, about a 2nd and 6.
Pullman did a nice job picking up 3 yards there. Now Assumption was in their unbalanced line to the far side that time, and North Scott defense read it, shifted over, and did a pretty good job defensing it.
So that'll make it 2nd and 7. I'll call it. Give him a 3-yard pickup. Pullman 5th in the conference in rushing. As we said, Straley leads it, and Ulloa not far behind, cracking the top 10. That could be the difference. 2 backs to 1. We'll watch and see if it plays, but Assumption is control now. 2nd and 7 from the right hash. Back comes in motion. It's Bush. They give the Bitterman up the middle, and he's kind of stuffed again. Maybe got a yard, but North Scott's doing a good job up front.
Just an inside fullback trap. Keep him a little honest up the middle.
So they're taking away Bitterman for the most part up the middle. We saw Pullman get a little bit. Actually, the success thus far has been through the air. McGraw more of a thrower than Green will be for North Scott, or so since we've seen so far anyway. The huddle breaks out. You see Forbes, number 1, the big play man, over here in front of you on the left hash. McGraw under center. The split backs. He'll drop and swing it out to Pullman. Pullman has it in a lot of running room. He's got the first down and more. Brought down, nicely done by the North Scott defensive back to help out.
Nice play, Dan. They just ran Forbes off with a threat, and the corner took him, and then they wound up sending Pullman out, or Pullman out to the flat out here on the swing, and it was a nicely executed.
Another first down. I think it was Pete Eitenbrock who came over to wrestle him down. I'll tell you what, the little swing pass, everybody's worried about Forbes. He ran in the flat and about triple coverage, and he was wide open. So we have a 1st and 10 from the 19. They're inside the red zone, the 20 from the left hash mark. McGraw, the quarterback, split backs again. Forbes out on the right hash. This time they'll give. It's Pullman.
There's the unbalanced line again to the far side, and North Scott shifts over to it, and they run back to the weak side here, back to the short side, and they got a nice little gainer out of it.
Nick Gary, the fullback, came in on that one. Came in for a play, picked up a couple yards. As you said, nice gain. You like 5 on the first down, brings up 2nd and 5. Ball still on the left hash. Opening drive here on Cox Communications, Channel 38. Assumption took the opening kickoff and have marched down for 5 first downs. Bring up 2nd and 5. Ball on the 14. Bush is out in the slot right. Forbes wide right. Here comes Bush in motion towards the line. The eye back is Pullman. They'll give the Pullman. He'll go off the left side. Follow some nice blocking. Get another first down and be driven out of bounds about the 6-yard line.
Fullback did a nice job lead blocking there, and Pullman just kind of sat back and waited for it to develop and picked up his yardage.
So we'll move the chains again, setting up a 1st and goal from the 8. They'll spot him out of bounds at the 8. 1st and goal from, now they say 7.
Okay.
Give or take a yard, 7 or 8 yard line. You pick it. The ball will be spotted on the left hash. I want to remind everybody this is the opening drive. Assumption has been really in control, doing a good job. McGraw, quarterback. Here comes Bush in motion, left to right. They'll pitch it to Pullman. He's got some blockers out in front of him. Nice, they string it out. Good job by North Scott's defense.
We got a flag on a play that came in late. That's probably going to be on Assumption there, as late as that flag came in.
Well, we got some people to the left of us claiming late hit. We'll see. The Zebras will mark it off.
Tell you, Pullman did a nice job there with not much running room, picking up that 3 to 4 yards
Yeah,
he
he
gained.
dove into the pile. Like I said, though, in the North Scott defense, Lancer defense really strung it out, and that's what you got to do on that
Good
pitch.
pursuit. Excellent pursuit there. Looks like it's going to be on Assumption.
So
we didn't get the prelim call, but
Mark, I know it's going to
they'll step it off. And it's going to hurt.
15 yards.
A killer penalty right here, Coach.
must have been a clip.
You got a clip, a 15-yard penalty, so you're going first and goal on the 7, the first and goal on the 22, it should be.
24 yards.
They'll spot it at the 24 at the point of infraction.
Forbes to the left.
7:17 to go in the first quarter. We are scoreless. Assumption on the opening drive. From the right hash, McGraw back to pass. This worked before. This time Pullman was not open, and I think he heard footsteps.
That
Coming up to
time,
blast him, Dave Caney.
Yeah, Caney that time did not get lured in by the dive back, and he kept his eye on the swing man and was covered real well that time.
Pullman kept his eyes on Caney as well, because he could at least try to make a one-on-one move, but did not come up with it. Harris will come off. He's checking in on offense more often than we've seen him thus far.
Mm-hmm.
And also bringing
Ball on the right hash. It's now second and goal from the 24. So basically second and 24. Forbes will come out wide left. Bush will go to the flanker position on the right side. Bitterman's the lone setback. Pullman on the left wing back. Here comes Bush in motion. And they'll give the, no, he rolls out. McGraw pulls it, rolls out, and swings it to Pullman. This time he catches it. He's immediately tackled. And he'll bring up about 3rd and 17. Once again, Caney is all over Pullman.
Caney, nice job on the coverage there. Somewhat of a game, but they're trying not to break here. They'll give a little bit on this, but
I noticed Assumption doing a lot more rotating in the offensive schemes with the fullbacks and the wingbacks and receivers and linemen even than we've seen in their past few games.
right, they're using a lot of different offensive sets here too in this series.
From the left hash, Forbes is wide left. Split backs. They're going to drop and counter to Pullman. He's on the right side, got a little running room, but nice pursuit once again by North Scott.
Excellent job by number 29, one of the linebackers, Mark Goodwin, I believe
That's
that
Goodwin,
was.
the one they're talking about. In fact, last Saturday I talked to a few of the coaches. He went to the Iowa State game in Ames, and they're very high on him. So this sets up a field goal situation. It's 4th and goal from the 18. Kaczmarek will elect a kick. Once again, scoreless ball game. 6 minutes to go in the first quarter from Lancer Stadium.
Just a
Willis will kick.
killer penalty.
kick is up.
Ooh,
It's up.
good
And
leg.
As you can see, very strong leg. Plenty high and deep enough. And Assumption, ranked 3rd, has the 3-0 lead, and they are 3-0 coming in. So everything going together, Coach.
Assumption pretty impressive on that drive.
Very
Dan
impressive.
moved it down the field, and what hurt him was the clip penalty. But sometimes when you got aggressive people getting after it, that's going to happen. And so North Scott very fortunate right there.
So 3s are wild for Mark Kaczmarek. His 3rd-ranked Assumption Knights come in 3-0 and have a 3-0 lead. And as you said, very impressive opening drive. That's the type of drive we've expected to see from North Scott as we've seen throughout the season. But one thing that's kind of going unnoticed is that North Scott's defense has given up a few when we saw them as well.
Correct.
So both these clubs, we'll see what happens.
Field goal was 34 yards.
So with 5:52 remaining in the first quarter, it is 3-0.
Mark, get in.
Assumption on top. Once again, you're watching Cox Communications, Channel 38, bringing you the MAC and the Western Big Six as well. The best of the high school games on Friday. So we saw a strong leg on the field goal. We'll see if he can be equally impressive on the kick. Is Chris Willis, your kicker, the junior. Uloa is back deep for North Scott.
Oh, that's going to happen.
There it is. It's a deep kick. It's going to be center. It's Uloa under it. He gathers it. Wall out in front of him. He's about the 20. Got a little bit of a lane and taken down
Great job.
about the 28-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
Nice high kick there by the kicker, and that allows the pursuit to come down, stay in their lanes, and come over and make a tackle.
So here we get to see the big North Scott running attack, and we'll see what Assumption does to counter it. It's big on big up front. Center breaks the Hutter. Green comes up. He's got the split backs, Uloa and Straley. It's Uloa on the quick trap up the middle, and he is stuffed immediately. Oxendine and company all over him.
Yep, just a I think that's just a get your offense loose type play by Coach Schrader, and see what we come up with here.
They may have, well, they'll give them about a no gain. Could have lost the yard. They'll spot it right at the line of scrimmage. So still 2nd and 10 from the original line of scrimmage on the left hash. Ball spotted on their 28. North Scott in their own territory. This is their first offensive possession. North Scott took the opening, or excuse me, Assumption took the opening drive, marched down, and got a field goal out of it. A very costly clipping penalty, though. They were on 1st and goal from the 7, and first play got a clip. Now they'll go. This time they give this Straley. This is play they like. He's going to take it outside, and that's what Assumption wants to see. Hey, he breaks one tackle, still on his feet. A nice game by Straley, but a positive for Assumption is they want to string that out. They don't want it right off tackle where he can blast away. He's not a speedster, and if they can push him to the sidelines, they're better off.
They did a good job. Straley did a good job picking up that yardage right there, because I thought he was going to be maybe held to about a 2-yard gain. Assumption, good job on a pursuit. I'll tell you what, Assumption's got some big anchors at defensive end. They got Oxendine and DeAndre Harris, and that could be about 300 or 300 apiece there.
One thing I will watch, I saw them last Saturday, and they both gassed out. So it'll be interesting to see, Coach, especially with more running right at them. Here comes, this time they go to Uloa once again, the dive. That time it was Straley, excuse me, on the quick dive. He's going to be very close to first down. I think we're going to look at about a 4th and 1, a similar situation that Kazmarek looked at. Schrader must judge.
See what they do here. They're not going to measure it, so it's going to be at least a couple of feet short.
So we'll call it 4th and 1. Ball on the 38, and North Scott's going to go for it. So early, they're going to go for it.
Taking a lot of time here. I look for him to call a timeout.
Green taking his time. They come out on the line, 4th and 1.
They're going to get a delay here.
Green under center. You lower the fullback. Straley on the left half. They go to Straley coming right at them. There's a flag, and it was stuffed by Assumption. They took their time. They really weren't confident or sure of themselves.
A little bit of impatience there, I think, Dan, because they had a little confusion getting the play in, and it looked like the tailback Straley ran just a little bit tentative there.
And they're going to say they jumped.
Yep.
So the penalty is there.
Decline it. Take the ball.
Well, the situation is they're going to measure, see if they got the first down.
Oh, it looks short to me. So that means it's probably a first down, because I'm always wrong on these.
This is kind of weird. This actually helps out Assumption. Gives them the opportunity to take it right there. Or if they got the first down. They didn't.
Yeah.
That helped out you guys. Don't be complaining. The Assumption coaching staff next to us being vocal. So a big mistake by North Scott's offense there, jumping off sides and costing them. They didn't get the first down nonetheless, going for it on 1st and 10.
Well, that's there's a situation where you make that first down, you look good, and if you don't, oh, you got 3,000 people saying, I should have punted a ball.
So Assumption takes over. They lead 3-0. We've got 3:30. Once again, threes are wilder. 3:30 to go in the first quarter on Cox Communications Channel 38. McGrew on the counter. Give it to Pullman.
Good D.
He's going to be stuffed right at the line of scrimmage, maybe get a yard. Nice way to stay home by the backside defensive end.
Right. Number 81 for North Scott sniffed that out. Catch his number. Don't have him on our main sheet here.
Collins.
Okay.
Brent Collins.
Brent Collins, nice job on a defensive play there.
So puts up about a 2nd and maybe a yard. We'll call it 2nd and 9. Under 3 minutes to go. Assumption on the left half. They're out of the eye. Here comes Bush right to left. He'll come in. Motion. And this time a quick little pitch right off tackle by Pullman and blasting through. I believe is Goodwin. That was Eitenbrock again.
27 is Goodwin, I believe.
No, 27 is Eric Varcho. He's a good linebacker as well. Goodwin's 29. We'll keep an eye on both of them. He really came blasting through, though. Nice read. 3rd and 7 will be the situation. Ball on the 34 in North Scott territory. Assumption has it and the 3-point lead. Forbes goes wide right. Oxendine the center breaks out. Here comes the rest of the Assumption O. McGrew is under center. Pullman is the tailback, out of the eye. Bush in motion.
Push, crossing, I formation.
Somebody jumped on the right side.
They got away with
it. They got away with it as right, and open is Forbes, and this is where he's dangerous. A nice pretty move. He's going to break to the end zone.
He's
Shifts
gone.
one guy. He deked about 3 guys against the end zone. And that's the play we saw in week 1 against West. We said he's dangerous. Out in the right flat, you give him open field, he's gone.
He gets the ball, and he gets a little territory out there and makes a couple cuts, and he's gone. I believe that Assumption got away with a penalty there. I think their right tackle was moving before the ball was snapped, but the flag wasn't thrown, so it's history.
He was pulling out to protect
the
quarterback, McGraw, on the rollout, and got out there in time.
Yeah, I got him out there a little earlier.
Here comes the kick by Willis. The PAT is up and no good, so he nailed the field goal, misses the PAT. They'll pat him on the back. They'd rather have the field goal.
That's right.
9-0 with 1:56 to go in the first quarter, and it's been all Assumption.
Right.
This is where you see if North Scott may be coming too quick in their program up to the 3-0 start, the top 10 ranking, and one of the prognosticators that I was talking to, their prediction was for Assumption because they felt they had just been in more big games lately.
Yep. North Scott just a little anxious there. For example, on the fourth down situation, as chicken as I used to be, I would have punted the ball, and it's easy to say now, but if you work on that kind of thing, you work on your short game in practice, and I'm sure Coach Schrader thought they could make it, and that's why they went for it.
Well, you dogged yourself for being chicken, but I'll pat you on the back because in the opening we talked about the one big playmaker out on the field that North Scott did not have, and that was Matt Forbes. And
that's true.
You could tell what we were talking about.
That's correct.
He did it in the West game, picked off an interception, got back. Even in the other game, the Clinton game I saw was very similar to that as well. So kicking off will be Willis. He went deep and straight away to Ualoa on his last kickoff. It is 9-0. Assumption. And it's deep again. Uloa should run under at the wall in front of him. Here we go. Blasting through, and there's an opening. He's still on his feet. Got about 15, still on his feet, breaks one tackle, and a nice return, and a beautiful job of wall blocking.
It really was. He found his openings. We had some good blocking going on, and he made a couple of cuts and almost fell down a couple of times and kept his balance and finally did fall on his nose.
At least he was falling forward.
Yeah, that's right.
What you want to see.
That was a fine run back by Uloa.
For the 41-yard line, so near midfield, a great return. 1st and 10, 1:46 to go in the quarter. Assumption marched on the opening drive, got a field goal, and then just scored with there it is, Straley off right tackle. That's the big hole. He'll blast at that defensive back, and that's Forbes. He'll lower his shoulder into him.
And Matt Forbes doesn't want to take too many hits like that because
that'll slow him down.
Straley's a big, strong running back, and he flattened him.
That's their bread and butter. Double down, kick out, and let's get after it. That's how North Scott and Schrader have gotten it going. And Straley hits it hard. That's why I said it was very nice to see Assumption string it out, get it outside tackle, even though he got about 6.
That's
Here
right.
we go again, 1st and 10. It'll go the same place. Straley come at you, they stop you, breaks the first tackle, runs over second man, still on his feet about 8 or 9 yards. Straley will come right at you. No dodging and deacon like Forbes for Straley.
He is impressive right now. I'll tell you what. They knocked one defender down, knocked 2 defenders down, and drug a 3rd one down the field with him. So.
Well, North Scott did not lie down. They fall down 9-0 early, but they did not definitely give up early.
They know it's early. They know it's early.
He gets 9 yards, so he cranks off a couple of big gains. Remember, Straley is the leading rusher in the MAC. In the game we saw, he was all over the place, went over 200 yards. Even had a touchdown called back.
That's right. I recall it.
So, Straley will come at it again. Uloa, sometimes this is where they lull you to sleep, not necessarily with the running game, and then pitch the outside or throw a pass like a lot of teams. They kind of lull you to sleep with the off tackle, then the quick trap by Uloa up the middle.
Right.
And he's kind of the same type of runner as Straley. They're kind of like, we've talked about it before, Coach, kind of like 2 fullbacks in the backfield.
I think Assumption has a phone down here, and so the Stripers are over there trying to console them. And if the phones don't work on one side of the field, then they can't use them on the other. So
well, they're not supposed to.
That's right.
But we've all seen that situation go awry. The situation in 2nd and 1, 1:16 to go in the first quarter here from Lancer Stadium in Eldridge, Iowa. North Scott and Assumption, both 3-0 and both ranked in the top 10 going at it. The Assumption Knights, the third-ranked club in Iowa, is in the lead 9-0.
Watch the dive.
All right, looks like we're...
Phones are back, and we are ready to play. The ball will be on the right hash, as you can tell going from left to right in your screen, the North Scott Lancers in the Columbus, Ohio State type Buckeye kind of colored uniforms. Assumption with the white jerseys and the red pants on the right hash. There they go to Ulloa. That was the quick trap I was talking about, and he doesn't get much, Coach. In fact, he's going to be dropped back for maybe a loss.
Right, a little trap job inside, and number 50 for Assumption.
Is it Marshall Wirtz?
I think that's Marshall Wirtz. Did a nice job of breaking that play up.
Wirtz does a good job both offensively and defensively for Kazmarek's Knights. So we'll face about a 3rd and 1. They may have lost a couple of feet anyway.
Right. They are, let's see, ball's on about the 35 here, so they're, if anything, they're going to be in 4-down territory here, I'm sure.
3rd and 1. This time they're going to Straley right off that white tackle. A nice block by Ulloa. And once again, it takes about 3 guys to bring down Straley. That's the great thing about Ulloa. He can only get 30 yards while Straley gets 200, and he's still doing a bang-up job with that kick-out block.
Brought down by Andy Stewart, but Andy paid the price there because...
That's one thing we'll watch. We talk about him wearing you down with the offensive lineman. I said keep an eye on Harris and Oxendine on the outside. They're going to come right at him and try to wear that down. Also, Forbes and some of the skill people back there in the defensive backfield. You get Straley and Ulloa pounding at you. You're going to take some bumps and bruises.
That's right.
Green to the line of scrimmage. They'll go the other way. Straley off the left tackle. Nice block by Ulloa, and he gets a couple. Good job of pursuit from the backside by Assumption.
Very good job of pursuing that. Now the fans are yelling about something out there. I think they're just yelling to be yelling, though.
Once again, that was Oxendine on the backside pursuit. You know, last year, Coach Cass told me he was his fastest, quickest defensive lineman off the ball, but also perhaps at times his laziest. But I'll tell you, this year he's going both ways. He's improved. There's the first quarter sound. The horn sounds, and it is 9-0 Assumption on top of North Scott from Lancer Stadium in Eldridge. You're watching Cox Communications, Channel 38. You are looking at Lancer Stadium in Eldridge, Iowa, where the 9th-ranked undefeated North Scott Lancers trailing at the end of the first quarter to the number 3 equally undefeated Davenport Assumption Knights. 9-0 is the score. We come up on the ball. North Scott has it. They've got an impressive drive going. They're going to roll right with Green. A little bit of an option. He's got a lane. A nice block by Straley. And he's got a first down, I believe. Dan Birch along with Cy Robinson on Cox Communications Channel 38. And, Coach, it was a nice play there.
It really was. And good thing O'Neill hustled over there and made the stop. And but that was a good-looking play. And it also looked like he had room to get a little more yards if he pitched the ball, too.
Well, nice play by O'Neill, especially since a lot of people didn't think he'd play. He got hurt in a Saturday game versus Clinton, but he came back and talked to his father before the game. Said just a little shaken up, nothing major. He's a tough kid.
He really is. He's been starting for them for 3 years, and so he knows what this game's all about at this level, I guarantee you.
So it is 3rd and 2. Ball on the right hash. I'm going to go on a prediction here and say look for Straley coming right to left off tackle. No, they go to the right. Once again, same pitch play, same option play, and Green is wrestled down. Everybody stayed home. Everybody kept their position, and I think they kept him shy of the chains.
Run to the wide side.
See where they put this
here.
here.
Line of scrimmage. We'll see. 4th and maybe a yard.
I kept expecting something to come back towards us that time, but it was exactly the same play they ran the time before, and they figured they could probably get that 3 yards for first down, but they got stuffed.
So 4th and 2, they'll call it. Ball on the 22. This will be the second time on 4th down North Scott has gone for it. It kind of, I don't want to say it backfired, but you know, obviously Assumption took over and got the touchdown. So in a way,
I think backfired's a pretty good word for that.
Here comes Green. Gives to Ulloa, and he's got straight ahead, plows up, and gets the first down. I believe O'Neill was down around the ankles to make the stop.
He's at the 22, so I beg your pardon, he went inside the 20.
It is first down. Move the chain. So that time they just went with a straightaway fullback blast.
They just come out of the huddle, they come up the line of scrimmage, they snap the ball and get it going. Defensively, you better be ready or they're going to get you for a couple yards every time they do that.
1st and 10, ball spotted on the 17 of Assumption's defensive side, 17 yards to pay dirt. Once again, remember the missed PAT by Assumption comes into play as well. Green rolls right, Ulloa blocking in front of him. It was overthrown and tipped.
O'Neill just about had a pick there. Went right through his hands, but He looked like O'Neill had lineman hands there, but
But it's ironically they use him out of the wingback
Right,
while to
so-
throw to. Well,
good
Green's
defense. Good
pass
defense
was-
by Assumption there.
Green's pass was just kind of lobbed up there for Straley in the middle of a pile. They're rolling to the short side of the field, which I always question, Si. But
Well,
he's right-handed, I guess.
I suppose they.
Action, Assumption up 9-0. North Scott with the ball. Green won a straight block. Here's the pressure. Be under pressure and just throw it up. Good thing that they got out of bounds. Flying through. For a couple of players for Assumption.
I'll tell you what, Green did a great job there getting rid of that ball before about a 8-yard loss.
Matt Grabbert came flying.
Grabbert was chasing him and almost made the tackle on. Green was about halfway down when he threw that ball, and it just went out of bounds, and he got away with it.
4th and 8. Coach Schrader's going to go for it. He's not going to look for his kicker, Osterberg, to come in. Trailing 9-0. Here comes the play. Ball on the right hash. Ball on the 15.
We'll see if they fire a linebacker again this time and put that quick pressure on.
Well, it was Grabbert that time, 42. O'Neill stays home. They all stay home. Rolling left and thrown and zipped in there, but not enough. It's going to be close. Hard to tell from this angle.
Yeah,
We'll see what they do.
it doesn't look like. Yep.
They give it to him. No, they don't. I'm sorry. We're on the Assumption side. They celebrate. They say short. So it'll be
Yeah, it
first
didn't look
and 10
like he
the other
quite
way.
made it. He made a nice catch. It was a nice throw to him and a nice catch, and he just about made the first down.
So that was a close one. That was a nice play. They rolled him left. He threw across his body, but it was the route, you know. You, right around there, you want, you know, if you need 7, you got to go to the 8-yard route, but a high school kid was pretty close.
Right.
So taking over, 1st and 10 on their own 9 Assumption. They'll try to blast away and get stuffed immediately. Nothing doing there.
Assumption's in their unbalanced line to the far side, and they tried to come back to this weak side again, and North Scott was right there.
The little fullback dive by Bitterman has not worked that well this evening. 2nd and 12, they're going to spot it for a 2-yard loss, in fact. And getting closer to that goal line side. Ball now on the 7. Forbes comes out wide right to the short side, to the near side, at the right hash. Eye back. They're going to give the Pullman. He's going to try to blast off the left side. He's got a little running room, and he wrestles forward for a few. Probably picked up about 7.
Yeah, about 7 tough yards there, and broke a couple tackles, and he is quick. He's not very big, but he is quick.
They're going to call it about 3rd and maybe 4.
Welcome back to Eldridge, where the North Scott Lancers are hosting the Davenport Assumption.
They've got 3rd and 7 on the board. I'll go with them. It doesn't look like it's that much.
Doesn't look that far, does it?
Out on the left hash.
That's wishful thinking on the scoreboard over.
McGraw will give the Pullman again. This time he goes the other side, trying to get outside near a 1st down, driving forward, and that's going to bring up about a 4th and maybe 2.
Got a nice block out there by Joe Bitterman to get that gain. It looks like it's going to be short by a
maybe a yard. We'll call it 4th and 1. Ball
looks
somewhere
like
around
4th and 1 foot,
from
Dan.
the 19-yard line. And Coach Kazmarek will elect to punt it away. Forbes is his punter, so
Red punt.
or excuse me, no, not check that. Eitenbrock.
Eitenbrock, okay.
Back to return for North Scott. He fields it about his own 44, slips, and he knows he's down. He knows the high school rule.
Yep.
So they will take over. North Scott trailing 9-0 will take over roughly around the 45-yard line. They'll spot at 44, right where his foot hit, or his knee hit rather.
Good punt there and no return, so
Hey, he's got to keep his head.
I thought North Scott might have come out of this with a little bit better field position, but this is not too bad. A lot of time left in this quarter. They need to get on the board here to keep it going.
Well, Straley's been their big play, man, so far when North Scott moves it, as they have all year long.
Double tight, check now.
See wing left side, here they come. Forbes from right to left. He gets a little bit of a block, and nice pursue by Assumption.
Nothing there. Straley's stuffed by about 4 white shirts over there. Forbes, O'Neill.
Option, bootleg. Yell it, Cass.
Ball more towards the left hash now, 2nd and 10. They'll say that was a no gain. Spotted on about the 44 still. Here comes the play-in from the sidelines. Once again, North Scott trailing 9-0 at home here at Lancer Stadium. Red jerseys, gray pants, the white jerseys with the red pants, the Assumption Knights, ranked 3rd in the state, both clubs 3-0. Quick snap, they're going to roll right. It's Green once again. Uloa is the pitch back. He's going to get around the right side, got a lot of running room, pick up his feet, still on his feet, and knocked out of bounds.
Nice play. Green did a nice job on the option there. Pitchman stayed in the pitch relationship all the way.
That's what I was looking for. Uloa was really out there in decent pitch relationship,
he was.
And I was waiting for him to flick it, but Green saw the opening and went.
He just tucked it and went.
So we haven't seen Green pass all that much this season, but we see him do a nice job of running. So 1st and 10 from the 41 of Assumption. They cross midfield. That was a nice, about a 16-yard pickup there.
No.
Scott looking to get something on the board.
Wide receiver left side.
These teams 3-0 coming into the contest. Wing formation.
There you go, Green. He'll roll left this time. He lowers the pitch back. He's going to cut it up again. Get a nice block by Straley. And another first down, about 15 more yards. So a nice job by Timmy Green, picking up about 30 yards on 2 carries.
Dan, he's just coming out to the outside on the option, and he just sees the opening, and he doesn't even worry about the pitch man. He just tucks it and goes, and he's able to get 15 more there.
They come off with that quick snap, too. They can try to hit you before you are set.
DeAndre Harris had a big paw out there and just about snatched him, but he couldn't quite catch him to the outside.
So we're going to have a timeout Assumption, and they're going to discuss that little option.
Yeah, I think this is a this is a good timeout call. This is slow that momentum down and let them go over and talk about it. And it looks like Coach Wade King and defensive coordinators out there going to give them a little pep talk and get them straightened around.
So with 5:26 to go in the first half, it is 9-0 Assumption. Once again, they got the field goal on the opening drive. A clipping penalty kind of hurt them. They maybe could have got 6. Then after North Scott went for it on 4th down on their own side of their 50-yard line, their own field, they lost it. And a couple plays later, it was Matt Forbes with a little flat pass that he turned into 6. And that's pretty much been the game. It was a missed PAT. We've seen Straley with a couple of big runs on one drive, Green on this drive with a few, but North Scott's offense has been about as silent as they've been all year.
Yeah.
They're not really getting shut down, but
Assumption's playing good defense here, and North Scott, however, is on the move pretty good here.
You mentioned Wade King, the defensive coordinator in the black there, walking off from the field. He does a good job with Kaz Merrick's defensive side of the ball. Kaz pretty much takes care of the O. Left hash, 1st and 10 on the 25. Green will get under center quickly. Uloa is the straight fullback. The right half is Straley. A quick pitch to Straley. He's going to try to turn it outside. Oxendine and company in pursuit and wrestled down by Bush. A nice play of stringing it out.
I'll tell you, Oxendine didn't make a tackle there, but he's the one that really was responsible for stringing the play out. And then the secondary coverage comes up, makes a play, and that's what you got to do on the option, I think.
Well, of course,
string it out.
Making a part of the tackle as well. So they lost 4 on that one. As we said, Straley, that's where you want him. You want him trying to turn the corner. He's not your big pitch back type of guy, the guy you see at Nebraska running the corner. He's more of your blast off tackle, Ron Riggins type style. 2nd and 14, ball on the 29. Here they come. Green rolls right to left. He has Uloa as a pitch back. There's an opening. He turns it up again. He's still got some running room. Still on his feet, dragging people. And about 5 North Scott about 5 Assumption players and a North Scott guy even on attack. One of his linemen trying to push him forward.
I'll tell you, Green has the option there to throw or run, and if the throw is covered, he just pulls it down and finds the opening and goes. What a great job by this quarterback.
I'll tell you what, he finds a seam. It's been right off tackle. It's been just outside the end. He's found him in 3 different places, rolling both sides, and they covered Uloa, the pitchback, but nobody took the ball.
Right.
1st and 10 from the 10. Under center. Uloa will blast forward and get maybe a couple.
They're going to catch us.
Looked like a good hole there early, Dan, but it looked like Grabbert come up from his linebacker spot. I believe it was Grabbert, number 42,
yes,
and just made the play.
2nd and goal. Ball started. We'll call it about the 8-yard line.
Marty, it's not helping the Knights depth. They're starting middle linebacker and maybe one of their best defensive players on the sideline.
They'll blast out on the left hash.
Come on, get out there. See what I'm saying?
Here comes North Scott. Straley's the right half. Uloa the fullback. They're going to come this way. Green looking for the opening. And finally, Assumption shuts him down. Everybody stayed home that time.
Right. It looked like a little bit of a play screw up there because Straley was out in pitch position, but Ulloa was also. So if he pitched it to one, he was going to pitch it to both, and so I think he just decided to keep the ball and take his licks.
He picks up a couple though, gets it back to the original line of scrimmage. 3rd and goal from the 10.
Tell Coach King cover 9.
Assumption's been tough when the ball comes inside their 15.
Same difference.
North Scott. Come on, D. Come on, D.
Green is it. Once again, Straley low, the fullback split backs. He's going to roll right. Look for an opening. Zip it straight down the middle. He's got a touchdown.
Nice play.
Backside and one right to full back.
Nice play. That's number
Brock, I believe.
37.
Yeah, Brock it is. One of those guys you forget about out there. He's going in motion. He's blocking.
Right.
You're blasting away with Straley, Ulloa. Green's keeping the ball. All of a sudden, the straight backs just split. He rolls right, and all of them open in the middle of the end zone. Talk about straight dead post, middle of the field.
He just going to the post pattern, and Green just fired that ball kind of against the grain. It was right on the money.
Osterberg to kick. Remember, the PAT was missed by Assumption. This one is good by Osterberg.
Looks
so we've got a 9-7 ball game. And it is a ball game, Coach. Assumption leads 9-7 with 3:11 left to go in the first half on Cox Communications Channel 38.
Well, we got the game now, Dan, that we thought we were going to have. I still think this is going to be some battle. This could be a seesaw from here on out.
This is what I look for in the second half. Is, as I said, you had more guys going both ways with Assumption. We'll see if North Scott can wear them down.
Right. I think the improvement from this North Scott team at quarterback throwing the ball, I think, is going to be that's what's going to make them a great team this year.
Well, I think a lot of the sophomore coaches who are scouting, we see some people from Bettendorf. I saw a Clinton guy here. They got to take note. You looked at Timmy Green all year. You figured if there's a weakness in the offense, you got Straley blasting away. You got Ulloa. You can't forget about him. Green's the weakness. Well, he showed early he can run, and then he showed he can pass right there. So Timmy Green definitely not a weakness at the QB position.
Yeah, since the second game we saw Green, he didn't look very good that night throwing the ball, but the last 2 games he's really come around.
Osterberg will kick off.
No more talking to the other team.
Forbes, number 1, is the up back, not really the deep man, but that's the guy they're leery of. We saw North Scott opening kickoff go way to the left sidelines. We'll expect to see the same thing again. Osterberg will approach, kicking from the 40, right to left on your screen. His club, the North Scott Lancers, trailing 9-7. He kicks it. It's kind of a squib kick up the middle. It's going to bounce around and still alive, fielded eventually by Assumption, trying to go left to right. And still on his feet, running, but brought down by North Scott. Nice hit by the Lancers to bring him down.
Got brought down by number 10 for the Lancers.
That would be Osterberg, the kicker.
Right. Ooh, and that was a good hit, too. Yeah.
I believe it was Nick Gary on the return.
There's what we've seen it before when sometimes when the receiver back there bobbles the ball, the people come down in their lanes too far, and all of a sudden you got an opening run through.
You get a little overexcited. Bush on the right flanker, no motion. They give straight to Pullman off the left tackle.
Tries the left side.
Picks up a couple. That's not a bad first down play. You can take
just
that.
a little ISO. It'll lead the fullback through and give it to the tail. See what you can get.
2nd and 7. Ball on about the 36, 37-yard line. Assumption in their own territory. 2.5 minutes to go. You know, Coach Kazmarek just wants to get a couple first downs here, move the chains, and maybe get within field goal range.
I'm sure they'd like to get down and get some more, get us another score on the board. That's pretty obvious thought, I guess.
And look for Forbes on the left side. You see him wide left of your screen. Ball on the right hash, and that's exactly where we're going to look, but thrown short by McGraw. So he was thinking what I was thinking.
Forbes was there on the look-in, and but McGraw drilled it in the ground. So
I'll tell you, Hammond's a good DB for North Scott. They've got some good players over there. But did you see the cushion?
They got a lot of respect for Matt Forbes. That's for sure.
He gave him about a 15-yard cushion there. 3rd and 7 is the situation. Ball spotted on the 36. 2:12 to go in the first half. A 9-7 Assumption lead in the second quarter. McGraw from the right hash. Forbes is once again wide left.
McGraw under center.
They're going to roll left, look for him, and zip it open to him. He's on his feet, and he's always dangerous on his feet. North Scott going to pursue him. He broke the first 3 tackles, but eventually wrestled down by Hammond. As we said, look to Forbes. If you're going to look to the end zone, they're giving him a cushion, but that becomes equally as dangerous because those pursuit tacklers better get there in a hurry.
One more missed tackle, and he was gone. No question.
Nice play by Hammond. I believe it was Hammond, number 20.
Yes, it was. I was watching the battle here between Oxendine and the big nose guard from North Scott, and they're kind of hammering on each other.
Oxendine in the center, number 70. Lone setback, double splits. Here comes push in motion. They'll fake, roll left again. Forbes opening the left fat. Number 1, he has it. And this is where he's dangerous, trying to get down the left sideline, still on his feet and out of bounds. You give him a cushion, respect his speed, but you can't give him that big
That's
cushion.
right. That's right. But they're trying to hold off here until halftime. It looks like they're going to give Forbes that 10, 12-yard gain, but they're going to have to quit giving him that gain here shortly.
Right, short. Or he's in the
or they
end
better
zone,
get
2
that
more.
clock going.
1st and 10. Ball on the 27. North Scott deep in their own territory on defense, trying to stay in it. They trail 9-7. Assumption with the ball and an impressive drive. Basically McGraw to Forbes. A little 2-minute drill. Forbes now wide right as they're on the left hash. He's number 1, and he makes it happen. Once again, split backs. Here comes Bush in motion. Pullman on the right flank. They're going to roll right this time, get a block from his fullback. McGraw's on his feet and flips it off to Bowman, I believe, in the flat. So Pullman picks up probably picked up about 6 yards, a nice little play.
That time they ran Forbes off and the inside tight end off and just hit Pullman out here in the flat for a pretty good little gainer.
Good job by McGraw, too. He stepped up inside that fullback's kickout block, stayed on his feet with a little pursuit at his ankles, and flipped it out in the flat. A nice first down play. 2nd and 3rd from the 20. Ball on the right hash. We'll see Forbes come right side again, so he's not wide. He's split out to the right. Look for him. Split backs. McGraw under center. This time we give to Pullman. They're going to try to go off the left side. He's pursued, but cuts it up and gets a little bit of block and stays on his feet to get the first down.
Another good job by Pullman there, just following his blockers.
That's exactly what he does.
He just kind of hangs back, and when the hole there, he just splits through it.
Yeah, very patient. That's one thing impressive about him. It's not a flat-out burner, not a real big kid, as you said, but just does a very comfortable, confident job staying behind his blocks, not doing anything he can't do. Oxendine splits. There's Forbes wide right. He's the big play man, remember. 1st and 10 from the 12. Striking distance for Kazmarek's nice. They're going to lost it up there for Forbes and knocked down. Nice one-on-one coverage.
Good defense
That
by
was
number
Welter,
2.
I think, Dave Welter.
That's Assumption likes to throw the fade pattern, and every once in a while you better be ready for it, and the North Scott cornerback was ready for it.
Welter was there. We saw him make some big plays last time we were out here. One thing about Forbes, a compliment to him, they do a lot of the same things they did with Tony Collins the last couple of years. Just isolate him one-on-one.
Right, they figure Forbes can run underneath it just like Collins did.
But nice play by Welter. Good play by both guys. Go up after. Nice call on 1st and 10. It's now 2nd and 10 from the 12. Just about a minute to go before the half. Here's Forbes wide right again. Here comes Pullman in motion. And they're going to pull it on the left side. Pitch to Pullman. He's going to try to go on the left sidelines. And he's met at about the 5-yard line, knocked out of bounds. They could even spot it with inside the 5, Coach.
Right, shuts the clock off again. They got about 56 seconds to maneuver here. And
nice setup by Kazmarek. They do a lob fade pass with the wide side of the field to their athletes, so to speak, Forbes. Then they pull it and go to the short side. Just a quick little option, try to get Pullman up the sidelines.
They bring a man across in motion, dive a couple people, and run the option. Good play.
3rd and 5. Ball on the 7. Forbes is wide right again. Ball on the left hash. They're out of the eye now. Pullman is the eye back. Take the snap and give to him. He's going to give it a couple. He's not going to get the first down. You're going to be looking at about a 4th and 2, perhaps, Coach.
All right, unbalanced line, Assumption in their unbalanced line set there, and they came to the strong side, and Assumption, or Lancers, good job defensively there.
4th and 2. There's going to be a timeout taken by Assumption. So, Coach Cy Robinson, tell me what Coach Kazmarek's thinking now. It's 4th and 2. Ball spotted about the 4-yard line. 9-7. Assumption is leading this one here at Lancer Stadium.
I'll tell you what, I'd be tempted to come back here with the motion play that they just ran over there to the short side, and that play looked like it was really there. Plus you got, I don't know who the motion man was there, but It's probably their wing back, and that's Bush, I would
Bush
imagine.
has been pretty much their motion man, coming in motion.
Because you dive Pullman, and you dive Bitterman, and then you bring Bush around. That's pretty scary.
We'll see what they do. Well, you got to stop all three options.
Right.
Because you don't want Bitterman to blast through. They've done a good job of taking away the Bitterman blast. And Pullman, actually, they've contained him pretty well. He's had some nice runs, but hasn't broken anything along.
Right.
No, we need to have
Right. He's Pullman's a very patient runner, as we said earlier, and he's capable of picking up some good yardage, though.
Well, this is it. Tell you what, most importantly, if you're North Scott, you don't want to give up 2. You don't want to give up 4 either. It is 4th and 3. Excuse me, I said 4th and 2. They've changed the scoreboard. 4th and 3, and now there's going to be another timeout. So Assumption takes a second timeout to think about it.
Well, I don't know if Kaz had second thoughts there about what he called, or whether there's a little bit of confusion in the huddle maybe about what they're going to run.
North Scott coaches say, get back out there. You're going to do the same thing we told you. The players went to run to the sidelines. They said, we've got nothing new to talk about.
I think sometimes you run one of those, or you call one of those exotics down here, and sometimes you get a little bit of confusion on that. So it'll be interesting to see what they come up with here.
2 full yards.
Now they're going to trot over this. Now they'll talk about it. So a little confusion nonetheless with the Lancers. 40 seconds left in the half. Assumption had the 9-0 lead. It's currently 9-7. An impressive opening drive off the bat by the number 3 ranked Knights. They took it down. A clipping penalty kept them out of the end zone. They got a field goal. Stuffed the Lancers on a big 4th play. Got it back. Found Forbes, the big play man. He found the end zone. Missed PAT, made it 9-0 from there. And then Assumption, led by quarterback Timmy Green on a great drive. He made the runs and also made the zip pass to Eitenbrock. The PAT by Osterberg was good, and 9-7 is where we stand. 4th and 3 from the 4, 9-7. Assumption leads, and they have the ball, and their eyes on the end zone. Split backs. Bitterman the fullback. Bush is up in position. Here comes Pullman. They're going to give, no, he's going to pull McGraw's going to lob it up, and he's got an open man, touchdown. It's Grabber. Good call. You're looking at Pullman coming in motion out of the wingback. You think it's stop the dive, a little play action pass out to Grabber, open in the flat.
That's the tight end. It looks like they just ran everything to the right. All the motion was to the right, and you drag Grabber across, and very nice pass by McGraw there.
The play action
for the touch.
Pass. So a big score for the Knights. 15-7, Assumption leads with 35 seconds to go in the half.
Yeah, no, we already got that taken care of. One's playing right, one's playing left.
Trying to make good on the PAT and redeeming himself. They're going to call this one good. Nice job. Nice job by Willis. And we've got a 16-7 lead, just 35 seconds to go in the first half.
That was a nice effort there by Assumption's team, Dan, just to move the ball down the field methodically. They got out of bounds. They shut the clock off when they needed to shut the clock off. They ran the right play at the right time and just methodically took it in for 6. That's a great effort, great play calling there by Coach Kazmary.
Well, good job, too, taking the second time out. Obviously making sure everybody was on the right page.
You bet.
So Willis will kick off. 35 seconds. They don't want to return. Ulloa's been a deep man. They've gone to him each and every time. But the last time he kept his feet pretty well, got a good return out to about the 40-yard line. Expect more of a squib kick here.
Well, we'll see what happens here. I don't look for them to kick the ball deep here. I'd kick that top stripe and get the squibber down there.
Welter and Goodwin are the upbacks for Ulloa. Willis is your kicker, spotted at the 40. Spotted over on the left hash towards the North Scott sidelines. He'll approach it. 16-7. Assumption on top at North Scott. It's a high, deep one. Going to go to Ulloa. He's had a couple of nice returns. Got it up near midfield. Last time got a little bit of an opening on his feet going to the right side and returns it up past the 30.
Tell you,
Not a bad return.
It wasn't a bad return. The blocks were thrown just a little bit early there. For as high as that ball was kicked, they threw him just a little bit too soon. But there was a big opening early, and Assumption was able to come in and cave it in, though.
Willis does a good job of getting it up there. You mentioned his height.
That ball's kicked high.
We've seen all 3 of them.
Coach, worry about
24 seconds, now 23. Here comes North Scott. Wide man right from the right hash. Green will take the snap and give the Straley. There's going to be a flag. 17 seconds in the half.
Back even a little bit more.
16-7 Assumption lead. North Scott has it.
Tell coach, don't be afraid to run cover 4 if we have to.
Going to be a little motion for North Scott.
I didn't see that. I had this big post in my way over here.
They call offsides a little early movement. I believe they just weren't set.
Back up, back up, back up.
That quick snap, especially when you're in a hurry, that's going to happen. Coach Strader will run into play.
Say they back it up.
17 seconds. Clock is stopped. 1st and 15 from their own 28.
You've got to
Green gives the low on a quick fullback dive. He's got a room. He's on his feet near midfield. Ball's fumbled, but I think he was whistled down. Yes, the referees will say he was down.
Yeah, the ground caused a fumble there. There wasn't any question about that.
And the ground cannot cause the fumble.
That's
as
right.
You know in the rules.
The ground can't tackle you. Well, I guess it can tackle you, but it can't cause a fumble.
Timeout with 11 seconds to go and a 16-7 Assumption lead.
I'll be live.
1st and 10. Ball will be at about the 43-yard line. You are watching Cox Communications Channel 38, home of MAC and Western Big Six football. The MAC game of the week and the game of the week pretty much in the Quad Cities right here. Number 3 Assumption and number 9 North Scott. Both clubs 3-0 and Assumption leading 16-7. All right, you got 11 seconds, Coach Cy Robinson, 1st and 10.
Let's see if they throw the bomb here, just to find out what happens.
Well, we saw Hamann get the slant route in the Thursday night game when North Scott was playing West. He came in, the defensive back, number 20, and I believe that's him lined up near us in the left wide receiver position here. Now Green's going to give the Uloa again. He's going to break a few tackles, and we'll see if they take another timeout.
Just the inside quick trap.
So they're just going to go for one quick hitter.
Assumption's in there 3 deep. They got 3 defensive backs backed way off, and they're not going to allow that long pass, that's for sure. One
to watch is number 1. Sometimes Forbes we've seen him take back a couple interceptions, so you don't want to see that back.
Yeah, be careful about that. That is true.
Sponsor of the MAC, you have to go a long way to beat the excitement of high school.
6 seconds remaining in the half.
Begins at John King.
North Scott with one more chance at it for sure. 2nd and 6 is the down and distance, but they're not worried about that. They're worried about the 53 yards to the end zone.
Low financing, cash rebates, plus special discounts from $500 to $7,000.
So you say they're in 3 deep. Do you really go after them? What do you just send basically have the linebackers drop off, coach defensively for your Assumption, and just go with a base 3-man rush?
I think so. And you leave your 3 deep back there basically as goalies, and just don't let anybody get behind you. And that's a typical defensive back rule.
Hamann is in, number 20. He's going to trot off wide right. You see him. Green will go under center, split backs. They will split. He will drop back. It's a 4-man rush. He'll roll away from it right. Look to Chuck. He's going to tuck it away. He's on his feet. Cross midfield, still on his feet as the horn sounds. He's tackled a little bit short, about 30 yards short. So the halftime score here from Lancer Stadium in Eldridge, Iowa. The North Scott Lancers, the home team, trailing the Davenport Assumption Knights 16-7. We'll be back with the second half on Cox Communications Channel 38.
DARE is an acronym for Drug Abuse Resistance Education. It is a drug prevention program that not only focuses on the negative aspects of drugs, but the positive side of life.
DARE teaches young people how to resist peer pressure to take drugs and to resist the pressure to join gangs.
Community schools with their local police or sheriff's department offer a 17-week DARE program to teach kids to say no to drugs and gangs. DARE to make a difference.
DARE is a simple acronym for Drug Abuse Resistance Education. It's a drug prevention program that not only focuses on the negative aspects of drugs, but also on the positive side of life. DARE helps teach young people how to resist peer pressure to take drugs and to resist the pressure to join gangs.
Community schools with their local police department offer the 17-week DARE program.
Dare to make a difference.
Cox Communications Channel 38 is your home of MAC Conference football, and we've got a great one, not a good one tonight, a great one. Dan Birch along with Cy Robinson at Lancers Stadium in Eldridge, Iowa. The North Scott Lancers trailing their opponent, the Assumption Knights, 16-7, but it's been a tough one. Assumption took the opening drive downfield, ended up with a field goal with a 3-0 lead. They built that to 9-0 when Matt Forbes broke loose for his first touchdown of the game, and only touchdown, I should say. And then North Scott answered with Tim Green, the quarterback, picking up the offense a little bit. The running game not as potent and as productive as we've seen in the past. Green with some nice runs, a couple of 15-yard jaunts, and then he rolled right and zipped it to Eitenbach for the score. The PAT was good for Osterberg, and it was 9-7, a tight ball game, but with about 2.5 minutes to go, Coach Kazmarek's Knights took it downfield. They used Forbes to get down there for about 3 receptions and about 60 yards, and then they found an open man in the flat. It was Gravert on a little play action right, and on a big 4th and 2 from about the 4, they put it in.
That was a fine effort, that last drive, I thought, by Assumption right before the half to get that ball in. And it's going to be interesting to see here. North Scott deferred and will receive the second half. So if they can take the ball down and score and get right back in it right away, then we're going to have this battle back again.
Well, if they score and get the PAT good, you're looking at a 16-14 game, so definitely back in it. They go for 2, who knows? We've got a point difference, but I don't know. It breaks down to a field goal, 2 or 1. Doesn't matter. About a minute and a half to go before the opening kickoff here in the second half. And once again, it is North Scott at home, ranked number 9 in the state. The only team aside from Assumption still undefeated in the NAC. Both clubs are 3-0. Assumption, of course, ranked 3rd in the state. They've pretty much been up around 3rd or 4th all year. North Scott making their first appearance, and as we said, the first time they've been at 3-0 since 1974.
They've had 3, I think Coach Schrader has had 3, 4, and 5 seasons here, and then it's just a complete turnaround this year to get to this point. So
there you see.
They'll be tough this second half. They'll be ready to go.
Well, my prediction at the half, we saw Green wake him up and wake up the eyes of Assumption that he not only can run, as he did on 3 consecutive carries, but also he can zip it in there for the score. I expect to see him come out, as we've seen him do in the past, side, just come out and run straightly on that off-tackle play until they take it away from him.
I think you're right, and that's their bread and butter play, and that's what got them here, and that's what they're going to go with, I'm sure.
Now Ben Straley comes in leading the MAC in rushing and also leading it in scoring with 5 touchdowns as he came in, so we'll see what they do. North Scott will receive. It'll be Willis to kick off. He's kicked off high and deep center each and every time, and Uloa has been the return man. Assumption is in the white jerseys with the red pants. They will be kicking on your screen from left to right. North Scott in the home dark red jerseys with the gray or silver pants. Scarlet and gray, call it what you want, red and gray. They will return. Uloa 36 striding back. He will be deep. Straley, and on the return now is an up man, something we didn't see before.
Come on, now you got to put him down.
Here comes Willis to kick. The start of the 3rd quarter on Cox Communications Channel 38 from Eldridge, Lancer Stadium. North Scott set to receive. They trail 16-7 as we get ready for 3rd quarter / second half play. Here comes Willis. He approaches the ball. He'll lift it high but very short. It'll bounce to the right and go out of bounds at about the 25.
Okay, that's going to be a 5-yard penalty, and
so North Scott looks like they're going to take it right there. Timmy Green's running out, and he's pointing. They can take it at the 30, then you said.
I would certainly have him re-kick.
No, they'll take it. So it's a 10-yard penalty. Oh, well, unless it went off the 30. It bounced out, I thought, about 25. Nonetheless, they'll spot it 1st and 10 from their own 35. North Scott takes over, ball in the middle of the field, and look for Mr. Straley to go off tackle with Uloa on the kickout block. We'll see what they do. Green has had the success, remember. 72 yards on 8 carries in the first half. He's going to roll right. Straley's the pitch back. He's going to cut it up, get 5, break a tackle. Got a first down. He's on his feet across midfield. He has got a beautiful comeback block by 84, and they go with Mr. Green. I'll tell you what, we're talking 65 yards there. He's up over 130 yards right now, Coach.
There we go. We talked about it earlier. And until they get Green covered and make him pitch the ball, he's going to gain a lot of yards, just like.
Remember, 72 yards on 8 carries in the first half. He's going to roll right. Straley's the pitch back. He's going to cut it up, get 5, break a tackle. Got a first down. He's on his feet across midfield. He has got a beautiful comeback block by 84, and they go with Mr. Green. I'll tell you what, we're talking 65 yards there. He's up over 130 yards right now, Coach.
There we go. We talked about it earlier. And until they get Green covered and make him pitch the ball, he's going to gain a lot of yards, just like he did right there. Beautiful run.
Cy, you're no longer coaching in the MAC, and you know why I'm not, because I said Straley off tackle. And instead, no, you know why Schrader's doing a bang-up job at North Scott. He said they didn't take away Green in the first half. Why should they do it in the second? And what a job by Green. I thought he was just going to get to about the first down marker. He cut it up, was around 10, picked up his feet, and was gone. And 3 North Scott Lancers were downfield coming back to pick up blocks.
Got some excellent downfield blocks on that, and that's what sprung it out.
I'll tell you, I saw Dan Huggins down there, 84 on one of them. Here's Osterberg to kick. Cutting the lead to 2 if he gets it. It's 16-13, and it is good, 16-14. So we've got a 2-point game, and it didn't take long for the Lancers to strike. Exactly, 12 seconds and 7 points. And this is where North Scott are, the crowd is back into it on the far side. You don't hear it as vocal because, of course, we are on the Assumption side, the near side here. And you heard it get loud when they had the ball. We'll see what happens.
Heard a lot of dull roars over here.
We also talked about at halftime, side was that Forbes was getting a huge cushion. Now, we know he's fast, and you got to give him a little leeway, but, hey, you can't let him catch a 12 or 15-yarder and give him all that running room either.
They're going to have to come up and play him a little bit tighter, or he's going to eat him up again. And that, not only that, it eats a lot of clock off the, or a lot of time off the clock too.
16-14, 12 seconds going by in the second half on Cox Communications Channel 38. Osterberg will be back to kick.
Did you say Sprawley?
Deep will be Gary. Forbes is the up man. Number 1, he'll take the short kicks. They'll squib it out there. It'll be bounced around, and Forbes has it. Lost the handle, almost slipped. Here comes the pursuit. He's in the open field. He is dangerous, and he could be gone. He is. He is gone. He is gone. He's at the 25, 20-15. He'll skate on in. Touchdown. So we're looking at just about 25 seconds gone by. I'll tell you the difference in that play. It took 13 seconds for Assumption to score.
Right.
Deep will be Gary. Forbes is the up man. Number 1, he'll take the short kicks. They'll squib it out there. It'll be bounced around, and Forbes has it. Lost the handle, almost slipped. Here comes the pursuit. He's in the open field. He is dangerous, and he could be gone. He is. He is gone. He is gone. He's at the 25, 20-15. He'll skate on in. Touchdown. So we're looking at just about 25 seconds gone by. I'll tell you the difference in that play. It took 13 seconds for Assumption to score.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what. There's a plan going wrong. You try to kick the squib ball, and you try to kick it away from Forbes, and what does he do? He fields the ground ball and goes back all.
I'll tell you what, they put him in a perfect position. They put him as the up back, so unless you can really boot it deep, he can go back and get it. And if the squib kick, he'll come up and get it.
Right.
He kind of fielded midfield, almost lost his footing, just spun right, got one little opening. Remember, Osterberg tackled him on the return early on, but that time he couldn't get him. So now it is 22-14, and we are not lacking for excitement or offense in this one. The kick is up and no good, so the second PAT missed by Willis. That keeps it an 8-point game. Very important there, 22-14.
Right. Forbes that time he really didn't break many tackles. He just kind of split it, and there was no red shirts around.
Well, he ran right by. The only men near him were, it looked like O'Flaherty, and of course it was Osterberg.
That's a record.
I think it was 25. John Keaty behind us, of course.
Not have any more timeouts for Douglas.
Back at Lancer Stadium, we had a kickoff go out of bounds and 2 plays, a 65-yard touchdown gallop by the quarterback Timmy Green of North Scott, and a huge return. Straley lets it go near the end zone. He's going to have to pick it up and feel it about the 2. He'll look for an opening, not much there. Here comes Assumption, and tackled about the 6-yard line is Ben Straley. Not a great return. He and Ulloa were kind of caught between each other. Straley couldn't get the handle on it, and a big break for Assumption. What I was saying was, we had the opening kick of the second half go out of bounds. Immediately, North Scott took it at their own 35, a quarterback keep, 65 yards. They're in the end zone, and then answering the other way is Forbes. So in 26 seconds, we had 2 touchdowns and 1 kick out of bounds, of course.
Right.
Let's not
Well, this game's about to slow down, Dan, because North Scott's got the ball on their own 6-yard line, I think. And
they give this Straley on the right side. Nice pursuit by Assumption.
Good pursuit, good gang tackling over there.
They'll give him about a yard, bring up 2nd and 9 from they'll spot it about the 8, call it 2nd and 9.
Sunderbrook and Gravert on a tackle over there, I believe.
North Scott has it. They are trailing 22-14.
Hey, that's the first time.
Ball on the right hash. Here comes North Scott with the play. A little bit of a time delay here. You don't want to get that delay a game.
One thing about it, once they get up the ball, it doesn't take them long to hike it. So.
Witkowski slot back, wide left. They're going to roll left, get a block, and there's a pitch. Ulloa, a little running room. He's going to shoot for the sidelines and get knocked out of bounds. Once again, great pursuit by Assumption.
Right, once they got around big Andre Harris over there on the left side.
It wasn't there. We did it without Will.
It could have been a...
Corsiglia came up for the nice hit. They really strung it out nicely. The ball will now be on the left hash. 3rd and 8, ball spotted at their own 10, deep in own North Scott territory.
DeAndre Harris at the defensive end spot over here forced that ball wide, and once they got around him, they were able to get back to the line of scrimmage. But he's a big man to get around.
Split back, straight drop back is Green. He's going to zip it to an open man off his pads. Heidgerken
had to turn clear around to catch that ball, Dan, and he almost made the play, but was just bobbled it.
So punting out of the own end zone. Osterberg handles the punting chores as well. He'll be back. Probably set up near, right around the goal line. That's where he sets up just inside. And Mr. Forbes, the man, here they came after it, almost blocked it, and almost more dangerous now is the man returning it. Forbes, he's going to scoop it up and he'll go all the way to the left, breaks 1 tackle, and then corralled by about 4 North Scott Lancers.
That was really close to being blocked. Assumption had 10 white shirts up on the line of scrimmage, and they were coming. A good job by North Scott getting the punt off there.
Great field position, though, however, for Assumption. They take over right inside their own inside the Lancer 40-yard line. 39-yard line in North Scott territory on the right hash. Forbes goes wide left. The Knights break out. Pullman is the tailback behind Bitterman. Bush is your wingback on the right side, and there'll be a timeout.
Get Miller. Okay, there you go.
It's just going to be a timeout for North Scott, so Coach Schrader takes the timeout.
Yeah, they only have 9 men on the line, or 9 men on the field out there. It's a good thing they called the timeout.
So taking timeout is Coach Randy Schrader of the North Scott Lancers, his club trailing 22-14. We are in 3rd quarter play, 9:28 to go in the 3rd. It's been an explosive second half at Lancer Stadium, and both these clubs pretty much showing why they are ranked in the top 10 in the state. Assumption number 3, 3-0, and North Scott, of course, number 9.
Very explosive offenses, both of them, and both of them play good defense, too.
I'll tell you what, we've been half and half, Coach, on our pregame predictions. We said look out for Forbes. He's been a big play guy. It didn't take a genius to figure that one out, of course. And we thought we'd pound you with Ulloa and Straley, but it's been Tim Green, the quarterback, who stepped forward for North Scott.
Right. He's done a good job of filling in where Assumption has stopped Straley and Ulloa. Green's done the job.
Bush in motion. Top of the screen to bottom. There's going to be movement on both sides of the ball.
That's going to be 5 on North Scott. I think the defensive tackle jumped into the neutral zone there.
Now remember the old rule, Coach. You used to be able to do that and draw the offense offside.
Right.
The good old days.
Good old days. Used to be able to jump in the neutral zone and jump
back
out.
And the offense had to stay put.
Right.
So that'll make it 1st and 5. So a nice first down play for Kazmarek.
That's easy 5 yards.
Easy 5 yards. 1st and 5 from the 34.
Now who gets credited with that gain anyway?
McGraw under center. McGraw will take it. Here comes Bush in motion. Once again in the neutral zone.
Now they got a first down on the same thing.
So North Scott very antsy on the left side of the ball. You saw him coming across.
Making some mental mistakes now, and they're going to have to shape up real quickly here. Otherwise, they're going to let Assumption come down the field.
So that's, as you said, Coach, a very nice first down.
Right. That's a 10-yard gain by me.
1st and 10. Another way to move the chains. A beautiful first down. A little long count maybe on Assumption's part, drawing them off sides too. Oxendine breaks out wide left is Chris Miller. Forbes steps out of the game for a moment. McGraw turn around, pitch it to Pullman. He'll go off the right side. Break the first tackle. Yeah, he can go towards the chains. Probably about an 8 or 9 yard pickup. I think it's going to be a little shy of the first down. We'll see where they spot it.
2nd and short, Coach.
Yeah, they're going to give him about an 8 yard pickup. We'll call it 2nd and 8, maybe 2nd and 1.
Good one was right there for North Scott to make the play, and Pullman was a little bit too slippery for him. Got out there for the good gain.
North Scott going to take a second timeout already, Coach. So obviously the defense in a little disarray on the Lancer side of the field.
Yeah, they must need to make some adjustments they didn't get to make at halftime, or they didn't see to make at halftime.
Well, here's the situation. It's 2nd and 2. Ball on the North Scott 20. Assumption has it. They also have the lead, 22-14, with 9:21 it looks like to go. It's kind of hard to tell with the scoreboard if it's an 8 or a 9 with a light bulb burned out, but I'll call it 9:21 in the 3rd quarter here in second half action at Lancer Stadium. Yeah, North Scott definitely a little antsy on the defensive side of the ball with back-to-back movement, jumping off sides twice.
If they really start hurting us, tackle wide.
Forbes is back in. He's going to come wide right, or split right rather, on the right hash. About as wide as he can go.
On a great night in Lancer.
Pullman's the tailback. The fullback is Bitterman. They're going to do a straight snap and do that lob play to number 1 again. A little bit overthrown. Nice coverage also by North Scott.
Yeah, that's the fade route again, and it looked like he threw that ball a little bit on a rope too much to be able to complete the fade. And usually you see those thrown, and they're thrown high and right on the sideline.
Figure good call, though, 2nd and 1.
Right.
You know, you still got 2 downs here to pick up a yard. You might as well shoot it for the end zone. Forbes will go wide left.
Like now they're starting to do a little cushion.
Unbalanced.
Hitches would be the play.
Right side, it's a split backfield. Here comes Pullman in motion. They're going to give the Bitterman the first back through, and he gets the first down. So they were stopping Bitterman early, but right there he picks up what he needed and gets the first down.
Little motion to razzle you in the backfield, make you think about it, and just give it to the fullback and pick up the first down.
So the Knights doing a good job here of moving the ball with the help of North Scott, of course, on a few offsides penalties. It is 1st and 10, ball on the 16 of North Scott. Forbes will go left, ball now a little bit more towards midfield, kind of on the right hash there. Not quite as deep as before. Here comes Pullman in motion again. They're going to blast to the second fullback. It's not Bitterman, it's Geary checking in. Going to get a couple
same
more.
Play there. Same play again, and looks like they're just going to try to pound them in here a little bit and eat a little bit of clock and get closer to the goal line.
Bitterman comes back in. Geary checks out, so he's rotating his fullbacks.
Ball's in the 14 mark, 2nd and 8.
2nd and 8. Don't be surprised if they look for Forbes in the end zone again, Coach. He is wide left. McGraw comes up. There's the split backs. This is where they brought him in motion and gave to Bitterman last time. This time, counter, he'll roll, and they'll throw to Forbes in the end zone or near the end zone and overthrown again by McGraw.
Looked like a bit of a pattern mess up there. Looked like Forbes went down and did a deep out pattern, and he kind of quit on his pattern rather than run across the goal line there. Otherwise, it could have been there. But he wasn't going to get behind a defender, that's for sure.
Well, he did throw for the end zone, or towards the end zone, rather, with Forbes. But nothing doing. It is 3rd and 8. Ball on the 14. Forbes is limping off, Coach. So that's a plus for North Scott. You keep an eye on him as he comes to the sidelines. He's going to sit down with the trainer.
Just relax.
We'll see what they look at.
Hamstring problem.
Well, it looks like he might be cramping up a little bit or something. Doc Sunderbrook's down there attending to him. He's okay. He just
Bob Cunningham, trainer for the Quad City Thunder, also helping out with Assumption here, also down there. Looks like he's going to stretch him out a little bit, like you said, just some cramps. Got a little equipment timeout on the North Scott side of the ball. They're straightening it out and get the clock going again. 8:16 to go in the third quarter. Second half action. It is a 22-14 Assumption lead. 3rd and 8 is the situation, remember. Here comes Bush right to the left in motion. They're going to roll left. McGraw's going to look to the flat. He's got an open man. He throws to the end zone, and it's going to be a no catch. I thought they had it.
Dan, Assumption's in an unbalanced line there to the wide side of the field, plus they're running a motion man across the backfield toward that, and North Scott is making no adjustment to that, and there's got to be a receiver open out there
Miller
somewhere.
was open. He threw a little bit short. Good effort by both the quarterback and Miller, the receiver. But you also hit Pullman out there in the flat. If you go to him, you got some running room. Look out.
That might have been a problem. He had too many white shirts to throw to there.
So setting up the kicking situation is Miller. Check that, Willis, rather. Willis is your kicker. He's missed a couple of PATs, but he hit his only field goal attempt. Snap is good, holds down. It's going to be a little short. Oh, no, he got it. It barely went over. My apologies. I thought it was going to be a little short.
Knuckleball fooled you.
As always, I never could hit the knuckler, and I can't call it. So he's missed two PATs, but he's hit 2 field goals. Go figure. 25-14 the score. It is Assumption leading with 8:07 to go here from Lancer Stadium on Cox Communications Channel 38.
A good job by Assumption getting some points on the board before they come back up the field. So that defensive stand down there is not wasted by putting points on the board.
Oh, big. Now it's an 11-point lead instead of 8. You know, you got to score twice to get back in this. Well, they had trouble, and when I say they, I'm referring to North Scott on their last return. Straley had trouble fielding it somewhere around the 5-yard line.
Pullman comes off. You make sure.
And as I said, Willis has missed 2 PATs, but he's hit 2 field goals, and he's done a great job of kicking off. See if it go high and deep again.
When he gets a hold of the ball, he could kick it to the ambulance over there, I think.
He'll be back to kick. Uloa still the deep man. Straley back there with them as well. Looks like Mark Goodwin is the far side right man at the top of your screen. Here comes Willis approaching the ball. He gets all of it. It's deep, and it's going to be Goodwin with a far return on the right side. Has a little bit of a lane. He'll find some people and get up there up around the 25-yard line. A little bit past the 25, probably spotted around the 26, where North Scott takes over 1st and 10, trailing by 11.
Really not too bad of a return there by North Scott. He caught the ball on the 6 and brought it back up, and somebody's down out here for Assumption.
Yep, for the Knights. There goes Bob Cunningham, the trainer in black, running out there, and Doc Sunderbrook doesn't run out there very much anymore, Coach, but he'll saunter on out there. He's been on the sidelines as long as I think Assumption's been had in the athletic program.
Yep, he's killed a lot of grass in his day walking out there, I think.
25-14 is the score. We're going to take a break here on Cox Communications Channel 38. 8:02 to go in the third quarter.
We can't pour some salt or something.
Andy Stewart, the injured player on the kickoff return for Assumption. And they will help him off the field. Going off on his own, always a good sign for Coach.
He looks like he's okay.
Get out there.
That's good.
So North Scott has it 1st and 10, ball on their own 26. They trail by 11. Remember, third quarter action. They're going to give to Straley, it looks like. He's going to blast up and get a couple.
Marshall Wirtz came over from his down guard on the right side and just pursued over there and held it to a couple-yard gain.
About 3-yard gain. 2nd and 7. Ball somewhere around the 30-yard line on the right hash.
I tell you, Assumption's front 4 are big, Dan. And they got Wirtz is a good-sized young man, but he looks fairly small beside Oxendine and DeAndre.
Here comes Straley the other side, and for once, Uloa didn't get the block because he had 2 men to block out there. We've seen him the 3rd time this year. He's always out there blasting away.
Right.
He can block everybody.
Matt Gravard right there to nose with him.
And there's Mr. Harris leaving the game, as I thought we'd see a little bit earlier. Saw him in the last couple of games. It seems like he'll go in and out throughout the game.
Right. Brings number 72 into the game for Assumption.
That'd be Robert Hummel.
Robert Hummel.
I'll tell you what, with all the substitutions.
Seen that Hummel name in the Assumption lineup before.
He also plays offensive tackle for him. So
North Scott coming off the ball. It is 3rd and 7. They're on their 30. Greenos drop straight back, split backs, and hit a man. Throw it over the middle.
Oh,
no.
Dropped
he
it.
threw it behind Uloa. I thought he was going to Uloa. I'll have to ask him later on where he's going. It was Hyde Gherkin again. And you said earlier he had to turn around twice. He's had to try to come up with circus catches.
Back. Yep.
What's Marshall Free?
Nice effort.
And he
so
almost made the play there again. And receiver wide open, and North Scott's got to do a better job getting the ball to those open receivers if they're going to get back in this ball game.
4th and 7. Mr. Forbes is fine. The cramps are gone, and he's set to return. Getting a little help back there with Pullman, it looks like, back in the return as well. The kick by Osterberg almost blocked again. This time Pullman has it. Forbes going to be his lead back. He takes it left to right. Here come the red jerseys. Pullman up and over and knocked down
by number 56.
Randy Wolf, the tackler.
Again, excellent field position for Assumption.
Sure.
And,
across
taking
midfield.
the ball over here, what, midfield?
Just across midfield, actually. They'll spot it. We'll call it about the 40, we'll say 47 or 48 in North Scott, 47. 1st and 10. So yeah, a game of field position. North Scott's winning that, or excuse me, Assumption's winning that in the second half. There's Oxendine limping off, so we saw Harris go off. Now we see Oxendine, and the reason I laugh because I kind of predicted that because I've seen that each and every game I've been at. The big fellas, I think, like to take a few plays off now and again.
Take a little gas time, little lead, good field position. Now's a good time. This is Furlong, I believe, in at center.
Thank you.
Push in the slot, high formation.
So it's 2 receivers right, straight for high formation. They give the Pullman. He's going to go right over the middle, and a beautiful job blasting across by Ross Farrell of North Scott. Came flying through the big nose guard.
Good defensive play there.
They list Farrell 304, Coach, but that may have been early during doubles or triples as he trots off the sideline. 2nd and 8. 45-yard line is where it's spotted. 45 of North Scott. We're across midfield. Assumption still in the eye. Still 2 receiver right. Here comes Bush. From the top of the screen, down. In motion once again, North Scott looks like they jumps offside. There's the flag. Pullman's running. He's near a 1st down. Hey, that's some power running.
Good running by the little guy there. He got about 5 shirts, red shirts to bring him down, but I think we're going to have a motion penalty here.
Think it's going to be on Assumption?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Geez, I'm 3 for 3 tonight, Coach.
So they'll knock it back.
It looked like one of the Lancer defensive tackles jumped just a little bit, but he didn't jump far enough to get in the neutral zone, and that might have scared one of their backs into motion there. So
they'll mark it off, lose about 5, bring up 2nd and 13. Ball goes exactly at midfield. It's spotted on the near side, the right hash, in front of your screen and then in front of the Assumption sidelines. Cox Communications Channel 38 bringing these games every Wednesday from the MAC Conference, taped the Friday prior. McGraw up to the line. Now Pullman will come in motion perhaps. So he's like some. Now they'll go straight back, roll left, and downfield is Forbes thrown behind him and almost picked off.
Right. Forbes was open there, but McGraw was rolling to his left, and that's a little harder to throw that ball that way when you're rolling away from your dominant arm.
I'll tell you, that's the guy they want to get his hands on a pickoff too. We saw Hammond. He showed some speed in the games we've seen him. 5 minutes exactly to go in the third. The situation is 3rd and 13 from the 50. Dead center field, spotted on the right hash. Double receiver, left side. Here comes motion, Bush. High backfield is Pullman. They're going to give to Bitterman, the fullback. He's going to get a little running room and be near a 1st down if he breaks that tackle.
Gonna get it.
I think he got it.
Yep,
You're right,
I did
Coach.
too. Just an inside trap, and the down nose guard, I believe, or the defensive tackle over here from North Scott penetrated too deeply. And when you do that, you're easily picked off by a pulling guard, and that's what made the play.
Well, good call. You're looking for Forbes, you're looking for Pullman, and here comes Bitterman. They stuffed him early, but he's made a couple nice runs here. So another first down for Assumption. Ball on the 37 of North Scott, still on the near side of the right hash. Forbes breaks the huddle. Oxendine back in at center. He's wide left.
Kind of thing that drives coaches nuts.
In the backfield, coach.
Double split backs. Here comes Bush in motion. They're going to fake and roll left again and throw it out to Forbes. He makes a nice grab. And once he's on his feet, you better wrestle him down immediately.
Nice tackle by number 22 from North Scott. Checking the program.
Dave Caney. He was the guy who was all over him early. Caney did a good job early going in the ball game.
There's Assumption in unbalanced line again with motion going to the wide side, and they got a lot of receivers out there, and it's just a matter of picking the one out that's open.
25-14 Assumption leads. 3:59 to go in the third quarter.
Nice catch by Forbes that time.
Yeah, Forbes made a real nice catch. That is Forbes, number 1 on the near side. Left hash. They're going to pitch to Pullman quickly. He's going to put his hand down, follow his blockings, pick up about 10 yards. Nice job. He put his hand right on the guard there, got behind him. As we mentioned, he's a patient runner, just gets behind his backs and gets what he can get.
He is. I like the way this young man just sits back and just waits for it to open up. Does a nice job with that.
Yeah, a nice first half, 11 carries, 40 yards, nothing spectacular, but that's pretty much how he's been putting him up. Kind of been like a 20, 25 carry type of guy, getting 85, 90 yards here and there.
Right.
Another 1st and 10. And the clock continues to click down. Ball on the far side, look for Forbes on a little lob. They're going to fake, and that's going to roll right and go out to Forbes and kind of split Pullman and Forbes. I don't really know where he was throwing.
Well, that's what we saw a minute ago with the unbalanced in the motion. Now it came to us on this side, and North Scott had it covered well that time.
So it's 2nd and 10. The ball is on the 17-yard line. 3:36 in the third. Assumption with the ball, the 11-point lead, the momentum, the clock, the field position. They pretty much got everything going their way.
Yep, they really do.
Forbes will break and go left to the short side of the field, but on the wide. Split. Once again, it's an eye backfield. Look for Bush to come in motion. He does. Top of the screen down. Gets past the tackle. They're going to pitch to Pullman quickly. He has an opening and tries to cut it back. Tell you what, I thought if he would have kept going outside, maybe he could try to beat him to the end zone.
Yeah, I got a nice kick out block by Marshall Wirtz there, one of the guards, I believe, and there was a nice opening at the inside of that kick out block.
Give him about 8 or 9 yard pickup, brings up a 3rd and 2 situation.
Here again, this is what Assumption is tough at. Just methodically move the ball down the field, just kind of 7, 8 at a time, and
moving the chains and keeping the clock too. Most definitely. We're under 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Very important. Out of the eye from the right side, double receiver slot right in motion.
Rotation, just like you think.
McGraw drops straight back and zip it to Forbes. He's tackled. Nice play by the defensive back. They gave him the cushion, but it was Hammond who came up immediately. He's been the best man on the coverage out there. So that brings up 1st and goal. A good call.
Was good play, good throw by the quarterback there, and
you hear the Knights fans in front of them. The Assumption faithful fired up. They know the situation. 1st and goal from the 4-yard line. An 11-point lead and perhaps a early nail in the coffin. If they can punch it in. 2:26 to go in the third. Ball spot on the left hash, out of the eye. Pullman is the eye back. Double receivers right. In motion is Bush. Right to left side. McGraw with the handoff. He'll give it to Moldman. He's looking for nobody on the left side. He'll walk in. A beautiful block on the outside.
It really was.
I believe, was that Bitterman on the block?
I'm not sure. I think it was. The post got in my way again.
It was either Bush or Bitterman, 5 or 6. That's Bush actually made the block on the outside, but they've both been doing a good job of blocking for Pullman, so we'll give them both credit.
Right.
And Pullman just walks in, and that was a good drive by Grant as well, a junior tailback, only 165. Did a nice job of following his blocks and getting what he needed. So it is now 31-14. Willis has missed 2 PATs. Now he nails one. 2 field goals, though, he's made, more importantly, probably. So 32-14.
He's starting to get his confidence, I think, Dan, on the extra points and the field goals, and he's had a lot of kick action tonight.
Very, and he's kicked off several times as well. So 32-14, the lead grows for Assumption.
Well, they've got to get the ball here, and they've got to move it down the field and get back in this game. Otherwise, we're looking now at a little bit of a second half blowout here.
Well, I wouldn't go away from the running game that's gotten them here thus far.
No way.
You know, Green's done a good job, but I think you still got to go back to Straley and Ulloa. They're great backs.
You're right. Assumption really hasn't shut the option off as far as the quarterback is concerned. So I think that's what we're going to see a lot of here.
Willis will kick off from left to right on your screen. 2:13 to go in the third, so still plenty of time. We got a whole quarter plus some to play, and as quickly as both these teams score to open the second half, you should realize that as you watch it, and so should the coaches. Willis will kick. He approaches the ball. Ulloa back deep.
Hey, Mark, you got to keep the heat on.
It's up, high and deep, and it's 29, the linebacker. Goodwin will get up, muscle his way, and get a couple. I guess if you're going to kick to any of them, Straley, Ulloa, or Goodwin, you're going to want to go to Goodwin. He's a good football player, but of the runners, he's the weakest.
They're blessed with a lot of power back there, Dan, but they're not blessed without that much speed.
You don't see a Forbes,
right,
or you don't see, like we saw with Central last week either. So here comes North Scott, 1st and 10 from their own 28. The snap they give to Straley, and they're going to string it out. And that was Harris coming across, just stuffing everything.
Matt Gravert, number 48, and DeAndre Harris. Both of them had a bit of hold of him. And Harris looks like he may go about 320, and he's got good foot speed for that size.
I'll tell you what, a good move. They put Harris on the outside, Oxendine on the outside. Coach Kazmarek knew they liked to double down and kick out. He said, kick out my biggest guy.
Yep, that's right. Just
my two biggest guys, I should say.
Beat us if you can.
Yeah.
Yep.
So good job of coaching adjustment by Coach King as well. There's the option. A pitch to Straley. He'll get a block on the outside, get near the line of scrimmage, but another great job.
Again.
They're doing a great job of stringing it out.
Let me see. Is that Matt Gravert?
42 is Gravert.
Yeah, if that was 48, I believe.
That's Joe Bedford.
Okay, my fault on that, because Bedford made a great play there. Got to give him credit for that.
They're going to come across backside. Yep.
So it is 3rd and 15. Ball on the 25. North Scott with it deep in their territory. 50 seconds to go on the third.
Hot pass tight end.
Green in a passing situation will drop straight back, get some blocks, look downfield, roll right, and fire. Picked off by Assumption. And they'll take over once again in excellent field position.
Number 36 on the pick.
That's Mike
Corsiglia.
He picked it, and once again, Coach Cy Robinson, unbelievable field position throughout this third quarter for Assumption.
Yep, North Scott has not had the ball outside. I don't think they've had it outside their own 40 this half.
You know, they talk about teams playing up to their level of their competition, and I saw Assumption against West and Clinton, and even the North Scott coaches said, watching that game on Saturday, it's hard to look good against Clinton. I mean, not a slap on the River Kings, but they do some unorthodox things, and I guess I know what they meant. There goes, no, that's the other fullback, not Bitterman, cracking through.
Yeah, that's 34.
Geary.
Right.
I'm so used to saying Bitterman on the dive, but then I saw the double-digit number 34, but they've rotated in, and Geary with a great first down play picks up about 15, moves the chains, and keeps the clock going. As we crank down here in the third quarter, they'll get it set. 8 seconds should tick off. So we'll probably flip sides. The situation is 32-14. Assumption leading North Scott at Lancer Stadium in Eldridge on Cox Communications 38 as you hear the third quarter sound. We'll be back with fourth quarter action.
Davenport Assumption leading.
We've been beginning the fourth quarter on Cox Communications Channel 38. It's all Assumption right now coming off a big third quarter. 32-14 they lead as we start the first play. Great field position again, 1st and 10. First play in the fourth. Here comes Bush in motion. They'll give to Gary again after a big 15-yard gain. He'll pick up about 4 or 5 more.
Their Assumption's kind of in a clock grind mode right here, I think. Is a slow inside trap and for a couple of yards.
Left side of the formation.
Bush is on the double wing with Pullman. It's Bush in motion. They'll give the Gary a third time, and he gets whacked.
Good hit.
Probably Goodwin.
Number 27.
Lightenbrock.
That's Varcho, I think.
Or excuse me, Varcho. We've mentioned his name a few times. Goodwin's 29. Lightenbrock's 37. We'll get him right.
Right.
I'll tell you, Varcho and Goodwin, they got a good group of linebackers.
They sure do. I'll tell you what, North Scott misses their good defensive end, Krukow. He's in street clothes tonight on the sideline. He's a good defensive end.
Well, looking for his third field goal is Willis. The score is 32-14. From 42, they kick it up. It looks like he's going to get it. He does. 35-14. Willis with 3 big field goals. Had trouble on the point after.
He's got a hot leg, Dan. When he connects the ball, it goes. He's got a good leg.
So we went from it was 16-7 at the half. On the first play of scrimmage of the second half for North Scott, after the opening kick went out of bounds, Tim Green kept it. A 65-yard touchdown. We had 16-14. We thought we had quite a ball game going. Since then, it has been totally domination by Assumption.
Yep, North Scott has failed to move the football down in their own territory, and I think we mentioned before they haven't had the ball outside their own 40.
They've had it on the 4-yard line.
Yeah.
I mean, they've had it deep in their own territory.
They threw the pick and gave them the ball down on about the 25.
Assumption is taken over basically at within side of midfield every time.
Right.
Check on that one.
I'll be waiting on you for you.
That's 3. 9:59 to go. Kicking off will be the man with the big leg, Willis.
Yep, 3.
He nails it.
Got a little confidence.
Deep is Straley on the left side. He'll grab it. Here comes the wall. He's going to try to get up there, keep his feet going. Tell you what, he's still going. He breaks tackles. As you said, not a burner, but a hard runner.
Oh, he's tough. He runs with a lot of power.
So taking over, North Scott still trying to get something going in the second half. We said the opening play they scored. And then Forbes answered with a kickoff return, and it's been pretty much all Assumption since then. Pullman's had some big carries. Both Bitterman and the other fullback, Gary, have had some big carries. We see McGraw make some nice passes to Forbes to set up touchdowns. Here's North Scott now, 1st and 10. They'll roll left. That time Green looked like he wanted the pitch, and he's just going to keep it. Kind of running through there gingerly. He wanted to pitch it, I think, originally, but they strung it out.
And DeAndre Harris just drilled Green. If Green did get up, DeAndre really put a hit on him.
Well, Green's up, back in the huddle calling the play, and he picked up 4 on it. So 2nd and 6.
Showed some good toughness there.
I'll tell you, he got whacked by O'Neal earlier, so he got whacked by the biggest, hardest hitting linebacker, their big D lineman. So Green's not very big, 6'3", about 180, but he can take the licks. Actually, I left him 6'3", 173, not even 180. I was being generous. But he's definitely a tough kid, and he's shown it. This has been, I'll tell you what, in perhaps a losing effort, his best game. There's Green with the dive to Ulola, breaks the first tackle, breaks the second. Oh, somebody hangs onto his ankle.
Good hard running by Ulola. That's going to be a first, I think.
They'll move the change.
Brought down by O'Neal again.
Nice play by Uloa. 1st and 10 as they finally near midfield here in the second half.
Right. This will be the best field position they've had this half right here, I believe.
1st and 10, ball on the 44. 35-14. Once again, it was 16-14 early in the second half.
Right.
Straley off the tackle. He's tough to bring down, gets about 4. Tell you what, he's not getting a lot tonight. He's not going to approach a 200-yard game, but he's going to get a tough 70 or 80 here tonight. Anyway, at 35 at the half.
Oxendine and DeAndre Harris, the big defensive ends for Assumption, have done a nice job of forcing things wide. And that gives the pursuit time to get there and make the play.
See ball on the near side, the right hash here. North Scott with it, 2nd and 6, a 4-yard gain for Straley. Once again, as they near midfield on the 47.
Good job.
Still have yet to cross midfield. Wide receiver side left. Split backs are Uloa and Straley. They give to Uloa. He'll break the first tackle. Fight for a couple more yards. Probably got about 2.
Tough yards up the middle there. with Assumption's 4 big people there.
For a couple to make it 3rd down.
That's one thing Assumption gives that North Scott has not seen, perhaps, is a big defensive line with Oxendine about 270. DeAndre, as you said, Harris with about 320. Wirtz is no small guy.
No, he's
when
not.
They bring him in either.
I don't know what the program lists Wirtz, but he's at least that big.
You got Clemmy up there as well at 225 filling in. Wirtz goes 240. They got some big guys up front. There you go. Oh, a busted play. Hey, and Green's going to stay on his feet and look for the first down. Hey, gets near it. I think he went the wrong way because going to the wide side of the field, we're both backs.
Yep, everybody was going to the left side, and Green came to the right. So
even in the bad play, though, Green looked okay.
Yes.
Kept it going. Brings up a 4th down situation. You probably see North Scott go for it naturally. 4th and about a yard.
Geez, a yard. I'll tell you what, it was a
He did a good job.
He really did. He should have been throwing for about a 4-yard loss there, and he just slippery enough to get out of it and get some good yards out of it.
And the senior doing a good job. He's really, I said, and perhaps a losing cause unless they get some miracles here. Green has really shined tonight. Here comes the play. Wide receiver will go to the left side. Huggins wide left. And I think we're going to see North Scott take a timeout. They took 2 early.
Right, I think that's our last time out. So
we know they took 2 out right off the bat.
Right out of the blocks.
So I think you're correct, Coach Ty Robinson. 6:57 to go here from Lancer Stadium in Eldridge. North Scott trailing Assumption 35-14. The situation is 4th and 1 and desperation, if you will. Ball on the 47 of Assumption.
Lineman or a kicker.
I don't know if we've set North Scott's offensive line tonight.
Sitting down.
Dan, if I can get this seat on the right side
Well,
here.
you said the little shakeup, we had to move DeCap to center.
Right, so they must have had a couple injuries there. DeCap is in at center, number 50. The guards were Randy Wolf, Jr., and the other guard is Nekloff.
We've seen him do a good job this
senior. And at one tackle was Brett Spender, 6'5", 225-pound junior, and at the other tackle is Matt Sherwood, 6'2", 10-pound senior. It split in. They're splitting the duties between Dan Huggins, a junior, and Justin Dean, another junior. So they got some young kids. T.J. Griffin at the tight end, number 82.
He does a good job
He's a good
of
ball
blocking
player.
for him, too.
Good ball player.
We've seen him before. I said you almost forget Assumption's that big, though. You got Harris floating about 300, Oxendine 270. We talk about Wirtz 240, Clemmy 225. Plus you shove O'Neal behind him when he's out.
Right,
there,
there's another 240.
Yeah. That linebacker, and then 42, Grabert's not afraid to stick it in there. They blast away, and Straley barely gets it, but he gets it.
Yep, we're right on that chalk line, and that's going to be a first down.
So North Scott moves it, trying to make it close. And is that Oxendine down this time?
Yeah, he might need a little fresh air again.
I mean, I'm not picking on the big fellas, but it's miraculous how they leave all wounded, limping, and you worry about their knee or their ankle. But I'll be, you know what? If they're not there back there 3 plays later, after a little water and oxygen.
Right, it's a little 3-play rest that does wonders for those injuries.
Yeah. But they've been out there the whole time. I was waiting to see if they tired, but it's been North Scott getting worn down by Assumption's size. 1st and 10, ball on the 46. Oh, and Liloa fumbled. He was blasted, fumbled, and it's eventually picked up. Still on his feet. It's Grabbert. He's had a great game. No, it's Bedford. Once again, for the 3rd time I'm giving Grabbert too much credit. It's been Joe Bedford who's done a great job of stopping Tim Green in that option. And now he really came up with the big play there. But who was the man who blasted Uloa right out of the line that caused the fumble?
I didn't see that. I wish I had. We'd give him some credit. But I'll tell you, Joe Bedford.
Was that Oxendine? It was
Oxendine.
No, who blasted him? Yeah, Oxendine. I think Mike Fox, one of the assistant coaches for Assumption. As you heard, I couldn't really get the microphone right.
Yeah, we'll take all the help.
I thought it was Oxendine who blasted him. Came right through. Once again, see, he was a little tired, but boy, if he didn't pick it up when the play was right at him, Coach. So once again, Assumption, Oxendine. You heard
Bedford all around the football. That's what you got to be. You got to be alert.
So a great game by Bedford, 48. Joe Bedford, once again, he goes 200. We're talking about another linebacker. They got some size.
What do you got, Mark?
Coach King leaves that weight room open for him, I guess. So it's 1st and 10, ball on the 23. Assumption has it and a huge lead, 35-14. Assumption showing why they're ranked 3rd in the state, and hey, those kids, those two schools in Iowa City better take note.
I think so too. I think so too.
Number 1 and 2 better open their eyes a little bit.
Iowa City West is kind of like, a little bit like the North Scott Lancers. Their program has been down for a long time. All of a sudden, they get a new coach in about 3 years ago, and now they're up in the top 2 teams in the state.
This has been all Assumption in the second half after the first 12 seconds, basically.
Right.
They're going to give the fullback Bitterman. He breaks the tackle. He's going to have some running room out there. Still on his feet. Cut towards the end zone. He gets in. And that's just a tired defense.
Cow. Yeah.
That is just Bitterman blasted away. You know, early on in the game, Bitterman was a non-factor, so to speak. They were stuffing that fullback dive. We saw him pick up 5, 10, 15, and that time breaks the initial contact. And we just saw some North Scott Lancers on defense definitely fatigued and not going after him.
Right. Bitterman just got to the outside and saw a little opening and just smelled sick and said, "Hey, I'm going to get the ball in there," and did.
So it turns into a big-time blowout, 41-14. Once again, it was 16-14 early in the second half. And the PAT is good. So now it has been Willis making them all. 42-14.
Willis is getting better and better as the night goes along, but he's had quite a bit of practice too.
Boy, did Assumption give a wake-up call. We saw him in week 1. Kind of look a little lethargic against West, as Mr. Forbes made some big plays to help him beat West. In fact, when I saw both clubs play West, North Scott really wore him down. North Scott was the more impressive club. And then now we see him here, and it's just been total domination in the second half by Assumption.
Right.
I'll tell you what, though, I'd hate to see a lot of these people as they leave the Lancer Stadium here in Eldridge stop coming out here, because they got a good program going. Coach Schrader has the Lancers pointed in the right direction, and they still got a lot of games left. They could finish with just 1, even 2 losses and make the playoffs, you know.
Yeah, I don't think this conference can go with an undefeated team, and I really can't. Somebody's going to rise to the occasion, and obviously Assumption's the team to beat right now.
We could be looking at that game next week, Coach, next Saturday.
That's right. That's going to be a biggie in it.
Here's Goodwin on the return from the left side. Gets a wall, gets an opening. He's on his feet, breaks 1, 2, 3 tackles, and brought down about the 35-yard line.
That's a cheap shot.
Goodwin's done a nice job running the ball back tonight, too.
I'll tell you what I was talking about is next week you'll have Bettendorf. And you know how they've always kind of, you know, been an Assumption, a great rivalry, and they've kind of had Assumption's number when they've been head-to-head.
Yeah, when it comes down to the grind at playoff time, they really have. They wind up winning in the last few minutes of the quarter or whatever they have to do.
Zipped. It's a good grab.
Rule to catch, yeah.
So they're going to call that, this time Gherkin finally comes up with one.
Right.
Not that he's dropped any, but he's tried to
blow outside and come up with it. Good catch.
We got Witkowski in there at QB. Green, I'll tell you what, he earned every bruise. He's out there. He's just out there taking a blow. He definitely had a good ball game, well over 100 yards rushing, and a touchdown pass too. Witkowski will give, and you low it, dragging jerseys and people, fighting to the end, gets the first down and more.
They're not done. It's going to be tough to catch up in this ball game, but North Scott is not finished yet. Ulo is running hard. A little inside trap for a good gainer there.
No.
So it is exactly at midfield, 50-yard line, 1st and 10. Here comes North Scott, a wide open wide receiver. Witkowski's got an open man, but he runs a slant. I'll tell you what, if he would have just ran straight, you could hit the assumption coaching staff to our left. If he would have ran straight down the field, if they would have picked it up earlier, in fact, if Green's in, maybe the starting quarterback, you noticed that.
Yeah, they kind of caught Assumption with their hats on backwards there because he was out here wide all alone, and all he had to do was fly, but he came back into the middle, and therefore incomplete.
So 2nd and 10. Ball on the 50, and we've got a timeout for Coach Kazmarek tonight.
I think Coach, excuse me, Dan, I think Coach King's going to go out and have a word with
whoever that safety was. Right, corner rather. Yeah, the corner should have been walked up over here. Once again, we want to thank all the North Scott staff, Deb Mencken, everybody for allowing us to come here and tape the game at Lancers Stadium.
Yeah, we had a lot of people in this press box over here tonight, haven't we?
It's been crowded. We've got WOC doing the John Keaty Game of the Week, as they always do a good job. Marty Keebrick and Jim Fox to our right. And we've had we've had Jim, the other Fox, not Jim, but Mike Fox, his son, right. Very vocal with the Assumption coaching staff to our right. I'm sure you've heard several of them throughout the ball game. 42-14.
We got Darrell Bates of the Times sitting here with us.
He gave us our halftime stats, so as always, thank you very much, Darrell. I'll take a hot chocolate next time at halftime, please. The scoreboard reached 41-14, but it's 42-14 actually in favor of Assumption. 5:04 to go, right at the dead center midfield, 50-yard line. Assumption has it. Witkowski, the quarterback, he's got double wide. He'll drop back, look for an opening, have a little bit of a rush, and throw it completely into the ground as Uloa sprinted out of the backfield.
Yep, a little bit of a panic on his part. He had time to flip the ball to Uloa there, and might have been a pretty good gain out of it, but threw it in the dirt.
Well, the difference here too, Witkowski's a junior, Green's a senior, so the benefit here is for next year, you got Uloa back as a junior running back. You have Straley
back.
So you need that third, back in there. You need that quarterback next year, and Witkowski's going to be the man, it looks like. He'll drop back and a draw play to Uloa. He's got the running room. He's got the first down. He's running hard and hanging on to it.
Good-looking draw play. That's exactly what it was, and a typical draw play. You just run the ball back to the fullback and let him pick out where he's got room to run.
A lot of people don't realize Straley up last year as a sophomore at 1,000 yards, a great season, having a great season this year, leading the MAC. But also Uloa on the sophomore level last year had about 1,600, so they can really put it together. The running game's still not a problem, and we saw Green motor off 100-plus yards today. So the North Scott Lancers have not had trouble running the ball. They just had a little trouble defensively, most definitely matching up with some of the speed, skill people of Assumption.
Right.
They've also just ran into terrible field position.
Right. We got a lot of new clean shirts on the field right now for both teams.
A lot of white shirts.
Yeah, Straley's out. Uloa's still in for the Lancers. Straley is out, though, and
well, under 5 minutes to go in the ball game. It is 1st and 10 across midfield. Marty Keebrick must have heard me give them a plug. We gave them a little plug that too, so we're even. We'll trade off later. 1st and 10. It gives to number 23. He'll bust through, get about 6 or 7. That's Matt Griffin. Another junior.
Yeah, you're low on the lead block there and kicking out the end. He's still playing for keeps, I guarantee you.
Well, spotted about 7-yard gain, 2nd and 3, so a nice pickup for Griffin. Ball on the 27-yard line. With just about 4 minutes to go on this one on Cox Communications, Channel 38. Wide receiver left, ball on the right hash. Well, Flaherty's out there. They're going to give to Griffin again. He's going to get the first down, I think, Coach.
Yep, just a straight dive and root him out and get it first down and go from there.
No, they're going to, whoa, check that. They're going to spot him just about a foot or two short. Maybe even a couple inches short. So we've got third and maybe a foot. 42-14, they finally corrected the score on the scoreboard.
Okay.
Lancers being a little stingy, I guess.
Yeah, well,
It's their home field, they can do that. Witkowski under center. They're going to give to a fullback, and he's going to, I think he's going to get it. That time, it was Jason Boxell at fullback.
Good defensive play there by number 63 for the Lancers, Mark Melcher, I believe.
That was Assumption on the defensive
Assumption,
side.
I'm sorry.
Zarozinski.
Yep.
Good
Wrong
Irish
program,
kid.
wrong team. Other than that, I did a good job.
So they stop him at the line. It's still going to be 4th and inches. 2:55 to go in the ball game. In a pull, Witkowski's going to option left side. Look to pitch. Pitches it behind him, man. That's a live ball. They better get on it. Out of bounds. But did Assumption get to it before? Yes, they did.
Yep. Yeah, officials right on it over there. Official could have recovered it, so he's close enough to it to see what's going on.
Well, I'd expect for Coach Kazmarek and the Knights to pretty much just go out here and grind it away. Maybe even take a knee out, maybe get 1 first down. I don't expect him to shoot for the end zone, I'll tell you that. Backups all around coming in 2 for Assumption. Looks like Holland will check in at quarterback.
55, the Schubelhut, I believe, at coming in. Number 7, Adam Walbers coming in, junior.
A lot of guys we haven't seen.
Well-deserved time on the sideline for Assumption starters. They played a heck of a game this second half, especially.
I have been the kiss of death for any team here, Coach. The big Assumption Bettendorf games the last few years, I've went with Coach Kaz's teams. And Bettendorf, of course, Merv Hobenix's Bulldogs won. So I finally figure, okay, everybody thinks I'm a big Catholic homer. I go with the Lancers because I know their coaching staff. And the same thing, kiss of death. So I don't think either Coach Kaz and King and their staff and Foxy they didn't like seeing me last year. And I know Coach Schrader and Long and Tufty and Mack and everybody out there is going to really give me a dirty look when they see me.
I'm sure they are, but that's right. You know, you get in a position of status like you're in here, you got to expect that.
Well, they just
derogatory remarks.
You know what? I've seen each of them a couple times. I didn't think it was any big bold prediction. I just thought good game, and I thought, and here's the foolish thing. My prediction was maybe perhaps the 2 platoon of North Scott would wear them down in the second half, and it's been the exact opposite. It's been the pure size and power of Assumption wearing down on North Scott. 2:15 to go in the ball game. 1st and 10. Assumption takes over. Holland's your quarterback. He's going to just give it to the fullback, and he's going to get a couple and more. And I'll tell you what.
That 48, is that Joe Bedford carrying the ball there?
I believe it is.
Yeah, it was Joe Bedford, number 48. So he must be one of their reserve running backs if they need to call him in to carry the ball, and they did, and he did.
So we're under 2 minutes to go in the ball game. They got a first down on that one, blasted away. They'll probably come back with the same.